the innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
The last time you heard my voice, we were celebrating a championship in Gregory, South Dakota with the Legion baseball team. But now we get set for a full season that has already gotten underway for Vermillion Athletics. But tonight, it is the official opener for the Vermillion football team, a team that comes into tonight with a lot of unknowns. And their opponent on the opposite side is a team that is also champions themselves. A lot of familiar names that return for this Dakota Valley Panthers team after they struggled last season, but the basketball team got things going right, and a lot of familiar teams are part of that winning basketball team that went undefeated throughout the regular season and postseason. Those names are also on this football team. But again, tonight, it's technically week 1 for Class AAA, AA, and A here inside the Dakota Dome as we have our matchup. Number 5, Dakota Valley versus receiving votes, the Vermillion Tanagers. It's time to get our pregame show started here on Live Ticket TV. Well, good evening. Once again, I am Heath Nimke. I'll be joined with my broadcast partner coming up here in just a little bit on our pregame show. As again, we are getting you set inside the Dakota Dome for a great matchup between Dakota Valley and the Vermillion Tanagers. Now, coming up here on the pregame show, we are going to dive more into what is in store for this season for the Vermillion Tanagers. We'll also take a look at what the classification is here in Class A and just a little bit as well, part of our pregame show, as plenty of things have changed over this past season. Some new teams have entered into Class A, whereas some old foes have exited out. And again, we'll talk about that schedule upcoming for the Vermillion Tanagers, which coming into this season, in fact, is probably one of the easiest the Tanagers have had so far in a very long time. But there's going to be no easy route when it comes to this Vermillion squad and what they should be expecting this year. And truly, they're already behind the gun with their starting quarterback going to be missing the first couple of games. How does this offense look as it continues to be retooled from a year ago when a lot of other guys stepped into new positions, but lost a lot of seniors, a part of a squad that got all the way to the semifinals? Expectations are high once again for head coach Tom O'Boyle. He knows what's on the line. He knows that his crew can get it done. But the question is, can they get off to the right start? As we take a look at this season, we'll also preview more of the Vermillion Tanagers, and we'll dive more into those stats offensively and defensively with a lot of key pieces. A part of last year's success are now gone, either graduated or have moved on from Vermillion High School. So how is that going to play a factor? And as I mentioned, this Dakota Valley team is looking for quite a bit of revenge from a year ago. Not necessarily on the Vermillion Tanagers, but such a young squad last year. A lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors, and a key couple seniors last year's squad that were injured. How do they kind of replace those steps as they move forward? Once again, this is Live Ticket TV, a new home for myself, Heath Nimke, as I have made a career change moving away from ESPN Radio. But again, look forward to bringing you all the excitement of the football season. Yes, we will be traveling not just with the football team, but also volleyball, looking at plans of soccer and much more coming up throughout the winter season. For your home for Vermillion Athletics with Live Ticket TV. Certainly a great source to get your stories as well, interviews, and so much more. It is time for our first timeout break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about Class 11A before we dive more into these two teams tonight. And look how so far, the schedule seems like it's stacked up nicely for the Vermillion Tanagers, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an easy road. That's on the way next, here on Live Ticket TV.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends. How to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, welcome back to Live Ticket TV here inside the Dakota Dome as we are getting you set for our Friday night season opener between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. The Panthers coming in ranked number 5 in the preseason polls. Now, the Vermillion Tanagers were receiving votes, and my guess they are still receiving votes, but they were towards the bottom of that category, and certainly is going to be an exciting Class A season and seeing what 8 teams are going to be banking the postseason. Now, this is a good schedule lined up for the Vermillion Tanagers, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be all that easy. Once again, welcome back inside the Dakota Dome. I'm Heath Nimke on my new home for the Vermillion Tanagers. That is Live Ticket TV. Did you know that Live Ticket TV has so much more to offer? Yes, that's right. Now partnered up with over 60 schools across the state of South Dakota. And we're not just covering football. We have you covered for all things sports. And you can also check us out on 605sports.com for featured stories from all the small towns across the state of South Dakota as we focus more on those smaller schools and not necessarily always the big-time schools. So make sure you check it out. That's Live Ticket TV. And when you get the chance as well, might as well download our app and watch easy access as well to all Vermillion athletics. In fact, you can favorite them as your favorite school and again catch all the action, whether it's football, volleyball, we'll have soccer covered, and so much more that is coming up, including in the winter season with basketball, wrestling, and more. Again, just download the app today. That is Live Ticket TV. All right, we're getting you set. We have plenty more coming up here on our pregame show as we're going to dive in and take a look at this team for the Vermillion Tanagers. But right now on the pregame show, let's dive in more to what is Class A, as there has been an official reclassification for this year. We have seen some more teams make the jump in, and we've also seen a few big teams make the move out. And when looking at this season, a lot of familiar names, but a couple that have joined inside are Beersford along with Custer have made that jump up to a Class 11A. But kind of on the opposite side of that, some familiar names that we have seen exit out as of recently. do include Tri-Valley. They have made the move down to Class 11B. Of course, it all comes down to where you find yourself on student enrollment. That comes for all students as well. So a couple new teams into Class A. And for the Vermillion Tanagers, it still has a lot of familiar big names, including, as we mentioned, Belfouche, Beersford, Canton, Chamberlain, Custer, Dakota Valley, Del Rapids, Lakota Tech, Lenox, Madison, Millbank, Sioux Falls Christian, Vermillion, and also West Central, all a part of Class A. And when you take a look at what could be happening this season, we talk about the preseason polls, and right now, favored at number 1 is Madison. Madison's going to be a real interesting team this year. They lost a lot of great talent from a year ago. They've also changed out their head coach. So how do they gel together this season and continue to grow? That is certainly going to be very, very interesting. Another team that's at number 2 right now, and I think is going to be a very interesting team, and we saw it was the first time in a century, or in this century, last year when Vermillion beat West Central. West Central, the preseason poll, number 2. Again, this is now second-year head coach over at West Central, a team that has also gotten familiar to a new program. So certainly going to be a team that's going to be interesting to watch and could find themselves inside the top 5 throughout the regular season. After that, it's Canton. Lost a lot of great seniors from a year ago, but you know that team can always reload the talent they have, and they always seem to be a dominant force, whether they are playing in Class A or in Class B. Ranked number 4th is Del Rapids, another team that we saw for Legion Baseball, a young team that has finally kind of hit their peak as seniors and certainly are going to be a force to reckon with. And again, Dakota Valley I find very, very interesting here. They are number 5. I still think there's a lot of unknown factors about this squad and what they are coming in with. I look forward to seeing what they can do not only tonight but throughout this season. Then Millbank, Beersford, Lenox, Sioux Falls Christian, and Vermillion were all receiving votes. Just a quick look. You look at Millbank, a team that made it to the state championship game last year, the team that beat Vermillion in the semifinals. They came in as that 7 seed, got 2 big upsets. They also lost a few key seniors, but they got a lot of talent that returned as well. So I definitely think Millbank will be messing around inside the top 5 plenty with the preseason polls. Beersford is that young but now more experienced team. Not a whole lot of juniors a part of that, seniors a part of that squad, but a lot of great juniors, and that team is just going to continue to build. Lenox the same way. I feel like last year we saw them take a step down. They weren't quite where they are usually. They'll certainly be a great team. Sioux Falls Christian, same way. Always going to be a great team that you know what you're going to get with them. They play in a great facility up there in Sioux Falls. Again, a team that's certainly going to be one to reckon with. And then as we mentioned, the Vermillion Tanagers, not maybe this familiar opponents that we have seen in the past. I mean, it always seems like you're going to be running into, Del Rapids is going to be on that schedule, and a few other. Tri-Valley that always has caused Vermillion fits. Those 2 teams not a part of the schedule, but when it comes to the first 4 games for Vermillion, all 4 teams are either receiving votes or inside the top 5. Of course, Dakota Valley tonight. Lenox on the road next week. Millbank right back here in the Dome. That's coming up on September 9th. And then out at West Central, number 2, on Friday, September 16th. And then kind of that weird part of the schedule. Don't know what to expect. We are playing Custer here, Chamberlain. Then we're here back home against Canton on October 7th. We have number 1 as of right now, Madison, here on Friday, October 14th. And then on that Thursday night, to wrap up the regular season, making that 6-hour-plus trek out to Belfouche, South Dakota. Again, the Bronx, always an interesting team in Class 11A. They just always seem to fall on the sword of playing a lot of West teams that don't necessarily help them out, but they're always one that if they don't make the playoffs, they're certainly not going to let anyone else make it in. If they can't make it in, should be exciting to watch. And that is a look at Class 11A, the kind of preseason look at it and what it's all going to be in store. Should be exciting for tonight, as again, we are getting you set here on Live Ticket TV for our Week 1 matchup, or as they call it now here in the state of South Dakota, Week 2, between Vermillion and Dakota Valley. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, let's take a look at truly the Vermillion Tanagers, and more specifically, kind of the production of what we saw from a year ago, and how a lot of key pieces are going to be missing for this year. How do they make up for those? And of course, we'll catch up with head coach Tom O'Boyle coming up later on here on the pregame show. That's all on the way on Live Ticket TV.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back inside the Dakota Dome as we're getting you set for this Week 2 matchup, as they call it in the state of South Dakota, and arch rivals. Less than an hour that separates them down Interstate I-29, the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. Back here on Live Ticket TV, a new home for Vermillion Athletics. Yes, that's right, your chance to cover and watch plenty of Vermillion sports when it comes to not just football and basketball, but also more included in there with wrestling, volleyball, and even looking at soccer. Plus, a good chance we'll be covering plenty of baseball coming up this summer. By the way, have you downloaded the Live Ticket TV app? Well, if you haven't, you might want to do so, because not only is it your home for Vermillion Athletics, but it's where you can also find plenty more South Dakota schools that are covered right there on that app. Live Ticket TV covers over 60 schools across the state of South Dakota and is growing by the week. So make sure you download it today, where you're not only going to be able to find all the games when it comes to volleyball, football, wrestling, basketball. We talk about it all, but it also has all those great featured stories on there as well. Make sure you check that out. Again, download that app, Live Ticket TV. You can find it in the Google Play Store or simply on the App Store as well. Jack Kratz, Nick Sorensen. You can even throw in Zach Brady. They became those very big names a year ago. And you look at what they were able to do offensively, defensively. You had Zach Brady. He was the monster up front that dominated the offensive and defensive lines. You talk about Nick Sorensen. When it came to his offensive display, you never knew what you were going to get with him because he was just that Swiss Army knife. At points playing tight end towards the end of the season and having some big games, but yet he could really play a spot on the offensive line. And then, of course, a man that just really came into his own. We knew he had so much talent the past few years, but in his senior year, he shined all the way through. Jack Kratz, offensively and defensively, were some key parts to this Vermillion squad a year ago. Now, we flip all that. Most of those guys have moved on to their college careers and are now playing college football as well. So what does Vermillion look like now? Well, some familiar names are back once again, but also some new positions and also some kind of guys that we have to get familiar with, including that quarterback position. A lot of hype was going into this summer, and we saw him last year. That was Ty Hertz for the Vermillion Tanagers. He was looking to make an outstanding senior season. He certainly will, but he will not be featured in these first couple of games, which means now the sophomore Sean Doan will have to step up as that quarterback. Again, just as a sophomore, we only saw him for several downs last year. And of course, that was in pickup time for the Vermillion Tanagers. But one big position they'll look at offensively for Vermillion is Jeremy Crow, who last year as a junior just missed that maybe big play spark, but is looking to have himself a very successful senior year. He will certainly be the leader to watch for, and with this run pass option that they really look to go with, Jeremy Crow will certainly be a workhorse for this Vermillion squad. And another big key piece, what was this line going to look like? How much of a factor would they be? Well, plenty of big names back once again, including at the right tackle position, Ross Baylor. And of course, you can't forget about another outstanding senior with Carter Skogsberg and the left guard as well. And only a sophomore, but Raleigh French looking to have himself a great career in the red and white for the Vermillion Tanagers. And for the Dakota Valley Panthers, this was a squad that had a lot of youth a year ago, went 1-8 here in the Dakota Dome less than a year ago, lost 34-6 to the Vermillion Tanagers, but are looking, as I mentioned, to kind of have that big comeback season. They're going to ride a lot of momentum with their skill positions when it comes to a few different basketball players, and also you can't forget about the senior quarterback as well, Ethan Anima. He had an offensive line that struggled at points with him throughout the season, but he's looking to ride a much stronger offensive line and again really be able to use his arm that he has. And by the way, he is kind of that little bit of a switch quarterback. You can see him throw with his left and right. His dominant arm is his left arm. Should be extremely exciting to get this season underway. Again, a lot of questions still in play. What is it all going to look like? We're going to step aside once again here on Live Ticket TV. And when we come back, we'll get you closer to our conversation with head coach Tom O'Boyle. That's on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Back inside the Dakota Dome as we're getting you set for kickoff between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers here on a live ticket TV. As again, we're ticking, rolling ourselves down that clock with full anticipation as AAA, AA, and Class A all get their season started now. What they officially call Week 1 for all 9-man schools in 11B began last week with an exception of a few schools that had cancellations. But again, all schools finally ready for some football. And a lot of those bigger schools as well, as we know, have just began their first week of school. So first week of school and now ready to get set for football. Time to also bring in my broadcast partner of the night, Jacob Wartz. And Jacob, I know coming into this game, there's a lot of anticipation. You talk about the Vermillion Tanagers with first-year head coach Tom O'Boyle. No one really knew what to expect from him, what he was going to bring with his squad. Then all of a sudden you had a team that went all the way to the semifinals. They were ranked inside for the top 5 towards that latter part of the season. The first time they were ranked inside the top 5 in over a decade. On the opposite side, you look at Dakota Valley Panthers, a team that has been very dominant throughout their years, but really took a step down and finished just 1-8 a year ago. Now it's a new season. Jacob, who do you think the pressure is on more? Vermillion to try to get back to where they were a year ago, or for now Dakota Valley with so many talented seniors to really make a big jump and scare a lot of teams in Class A?
Yeah, you know, both these teams come in obviously looking to finish what they started last year. Obviously Dakota Valley looking to get better than what they were last year. Vermillion's got a lot of pressure, I think, because of the fact they were so close, you know, and Milbank just got hot at the right time and they were able to get to the championship game. And so there's a lot of pressure, I think, on Vermillion to just finish what they started a year ago.
certainly a lot of pressure and a lot of more added pressure now on this Vermillion squad. When you take a look at them, so much hype was going into this offseason. What could Ty Hertz do at the quarterback position? Well, he is out for the very first 2 games. They do not have Ty Hertz available. You now put it into the hands of a sophomore quarterback with Sean Doan. No doubt about it, he's a very big, popular kid here at Vermillion Schools. The fans love him. The players love him. But how much pressure is that for a sophomore quarterback playing in an atmosphere unlike any other here inside the Dakota Dome?
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure coming into the night, I'm sure. Not expecting to be the starting quarterback to begin the year, and they have to replace a really good starter the last few years in Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward did some great things here the last few years for the Tanagers. So, yeah, coming into the night, not knowing initially that you're going to be the starter, and now all of a sudden you're thrown into that starting role as a sophomore. You've barely seen any playing time, and so he's got some big shoes to fill tonight. But they got a lot of good pieces around him.
We continue to see a re-chiseled offense as well for the Vermillion offense. Of course, a couple of years ago, they were this spread offense. They really wanted to throw the ball over you. Tom Boyle comes in as the first head coach. He really likes the RPO. He wants to kind of just make you be guessing all the time, and that's what his team has really been focusing on even more going into this year. But what we have seen is an offensive line that when you look at the starting 5, really only 2 guys have played together and they're not by each other. How much does that worry you when you look at this offensive line not having that experience they've had in the past?
Yeah, obviously that's going to be a big issue. We're going to see that in the first few weeks of the year. You want to get that offensive line established. That's where football games are won. You can have all the athletes on the outside and at the quarterback and running back positions, but you got to win up front. And so the cohesiveness for that offensive line is going to be huge, not only in this first game, but in the weeks moving forward.
It certainly will be, and we'll be hearing more about that coming up here in just a little bit with head coach Tom O'Boyle, who did talk about kind of replacing a couple key pieces on the defensive side as well with Jack Kratz and Nick Sorensen. Certainly will be very, very interesting. While we have a quick chance with you, Jacob, taking a look at the Dakota Valley Panthers, we see Ethan Anima and what he is able to do at that quarterback. Now in his second year, a whole lot more comfortable from where he was a year ago. We mentioned an offensive line that has that experience. But when you talk about the skill that the Panthers have, we saw on the basketball court, winning a championship, going undefeated. How hard is it going to be matching up with the skill players, especially in the wide receiver category?
These kids are talented, and like you said, we've seen that on the basketball court. Randy Rosenquist and Sam Faldmo, Jackson Hennies is another one. These kids have a lot of experience in big games, just maybe not on the football field. We've seen it on the basketball court the last couple of years. We've seen these kids. They've been able to develop on the court, and so you like that as a coach, where maybe it's not the game that you're coaching that they have experience in the big games, but they have that experience in a different game. In this case, it's basketball, and sometimes that can translate over to other sports. And as a coach, you like that coming in and knowing that, hey, these kids have played in big games, they know the spotlight, it's in a different sport, but let's translate that over to our sport.
And knowing Dakota Valley just a little bit myself, they do all find themselves kind of in a small little niche in North Sioux City. They're all very close as families. These guys have all been growing up together for quite some time. That's why we see this basketball team so successful. That will also translate over to the football field. And what else is going to be translating over? Something else to kind of look at is here about an hour or so now. This Vermillion football team has been warming up. About 15 minutes ago, the Panthers took the field, went through their warm-ups, and now they're already off the field again. They're either feeling extremely confident in what they have going, or they still need to work out the kinks. We're about to find out, as it's time for another timeout here on Live Ticket TV. And when we come back, it's time to join with head coach Tom O'Boyle and talk about where his team is at going into the very first game of the regular season. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
This This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Well, the time approaches sooner and sooner as we're getting you closer to kickoff between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. What is the opening night for both teams, looking to get a right start? The Panthers in the preseason rankings coming in at number 5, whereas the Vermillion Tanagers just barely, but doing so, able to receive some votes according to the media. But now is that time for it's all time to play for and see exactly where this season is going to lead for both the Panthers and for the Vermillion Tanagers. But before we get into any more on where this season is going to go for both teams, let's talk more with the man who knows a lot more about the Vermillion Tanagers. Earlier, I caught up with head coach Tom O'Boyle, and we discussed exactly where this season was looking, what the ultimate goal is, and how do you replace some big seniors from a year ago. Here he is on the Live Ticket pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion Tanagers, Tom O'Boyle. Joined here with head coach Tom O'Boyle as we're getting set for another season. And Coach OB, I know there's a lot of anticipation going into this year, especially after what you were able to do as a first-year head coach last year, a phenomenal run with your team. But this is a completely different squad. Throughout practice, I know you've had a lot of great summer camps and now going into fall. What have you seen from this group that makes them special and has another good chance at making a run this year?
Well, what everybody tends to forget, you get lost in the great job the seniors did, and those kids are now graduates. But now we are, the juniors and the sophomores were certainly part of that last year. So they know what it's about. They second year in the program, we've had very little teach opportunities where we're polishing most of the time. So it's been a great. I think our kids are excited. I think they understand where they were last year, and I think they understand that they have to be good every Friday night to reach a little football in November.
Yeah, that's, of course, the ultimate goal is making that kind of deep run. I know coming into this year, there was maybe some hoping and changes in schedules. Maybe you wouldn't have to make a whole lot of trips. But what's your ultimate takeaway on these 9 teams that you're going to be facing? Are you happy about it? Would you like to make some changes? What are your ultimate thoughts on that?
Oh, I think in our, Southeast South Dakota, I'm not taking anything away from the schools way out west. But I think the best football in 11A is played in this corner of the state. And so each and every Friday night, you better be ready to play very good football because there are excellent coaches. We'll see that again tonight. And there are teams that prepare and work hard over the summer. And I just think that, you don't control your schedule. The state does that. And I think they try to do a fair and equal job for everybody. So it is what it is. You just want to win on Fridays.
A new general. You look at Ty Hertz coming in as quarterback, but unfortunately not able to play the first couple of games. Next man up mentality. Is there a real captain on this offensive side, or does this just come down to all 11 guys? Anyone really special that you look to lead this squad offensively?
Well, it takes 11, and you know that. If 10 guys are successful in their job and the 11th man isn't, it's not going to go to the house. So I think, Carter Skogsberg's done a great job as being a senior leader. I think Roz Baylor's done a nice job, senior leader. Connor Larson at wide receiver's done a nice job. Certainly Jeremy Crow, number 25, our running back, who we look to feature tonight with the young quarterback. I think all of those guys, I think our senior class has done a really good job.
You talk about 2 big monsters of Nick Sorensen and Jack Kratz defensively, 2 wild man linebackers. How do you replace them defensively going into this season, and who do you look to step on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, you hit it earlier when you said next man up. I mean, we've had kids knowing that they're going to be the guy all summer, and this fall we've done a nice job. Raleigh French really looks good at inside backer. Sean Doan looks good at inside backer. We have guys rotating in and out. So I think that it'll be a mixture of guys because we have so many young guys sophomores starting. We will be rotating juniors and seniors at those spots and keeping people fresh. We've got a lot of guys going 2 ways again, which is unfortunate, but that's football, So, conditioning's been good, and I think we expect to move a little bit. We were able to sit and handle people last year, and we're just a different team.
Coach OB, I know a lot of expectations went into last year, but I don't think anybody was quite ready for what you were able to bring back to Vermillion with excitement and with this crew. And I know going into this year, there's probably a lot of high expectations, once again, from the outside base, but you don't necessarily care about that. You're just focused on your squad. What are the expectations with this team?
Oh, they don't change. It's the same every year. The expectation for our kids in Vermillion Tanager football, the Roll Dam Tanagers, is to be very good every Friday night, take care of business every Friday night, and let's play late into October and early November.
There he is. It is head coach Tom O'Boyle here on the Live Ticket pregame show. That is a phrase that he has coined. Roll Dam Tanagers. It's something they did extremely well last year, and there is a reason why this is now the 7th consecutive game this Vermillion squad has played right here inside the Dakota Dome. And as we heard from head coach Tom O'Boyle, that expectations and the plans remain the same. Continue that winning streak as they had last year and make it back inside playing games here into November. Protect their home turf. It will certainly be a daunting task. As we mentioned, their season and their schedule, the first 4 games starts off with 4 different ranked opponents, including number 5, Dakota Valley, to open up the season right here inside the Dakota Dome. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes here on the Live Ticket pregame show, and when we come back, we'll got your starting lineups for at least the Vermillion offense. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Inside the Dakota Dome as we're about set for kickoff between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. Of course, something unique and always different here inside the Dome as they let that clock wind all the way down to 0, which that strikes 7 o'clock. And then we go through our pregame festivities. So the anticipation continues to grow just a little bit more. But right now, let's take a look at our starting lineup, at least for the offensive side for the Vermillion Tanagers. As of right now, nothing really to report from the Dakota Valley Panthers offensively. But again, for the Vermillion Tanagers, a lot of talk about going into this season and at least starting the first 2 games. And that general position and at quarterback will be Sean Doan. Now, Sean, during his freshman campaign, just took less than 15 snaps of varsity action. So we'll see what this sophomore can step up and do tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. Otherwise, the main featured running back will be Jeremy Crow. Had himself a fantastic season last year, rushed for over 600 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry. Again, he will be that running back to get things started for the Vermillion Tanagers. Connor Larson, Zone Robinson, Luke Knudsen, and Trillian Sorrell will be the wide receivers tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. Of course, a lot of people familiar with Zone Robinson, what he had along with Mackay Sheffield last year. Of course, Mackay did not return to Vermillion to play football this season, but Zone really great, not only just football-wise, but also when it comes to track and basketball. Certainly are going to be looking at him to be a big target tonight for Sean Doan in the passing game. And then when it comes to the big men up front, across the line at left tackle, a lot of experience with Carter Skogsberg. Right next to him, the sophomore Raleigh French. The center and new to that position, Colton Chapman, along with right guard Eric Schulze and the right tackle Roz Baylor. Again, Carter Skogsberg, Roz Baylor do have experience on the offensive line for the Vermillion Tanagers. Otherwise, Raleigh, Colton, and Eric all new to that position, or to at least the offensive line, and certainly will see what it's like when they get their really first varsity playing action and getting ready for a pesky Dakota Valley Panthers team. As we mentioned, no offensive lineup for the Panthers, but certainly a lot of key pieces to watch, including Jackson Hennis, along with Randy Rosenquist, 2 big wide receivers. And as we mentioned it earlier, the quarterback Ethan Anima, who has had now a year underneath of his belt of experience with playing football and looks to continue to roll. And again, a left-handed quarterback in of that, so have to kind of switch defensively and get used to that different look. Well, they are making their final introductions. Looking around the Dakota Dome, it certainly is a packed house that we have seen as, again, this crowd towards the end of the season and into the postseason. And again, they're anticipating another great year. And, of course, for the Dakota Valley Panthers and their white, purple, and a lot of black for tonight, they made the nice little trip up Interstate I-29. Of course, here in the state of South Dakota, when the speed limit is 80 on the interstate, it's not too hard to get up here. And, of course, a lot of fans familiar with the Dakota Dome. Again, no introductions from the Panthers. They just run out as a team. They find themselves on the Coyote South Dakota logo at the middle of the field, and we are about set for kickoff. We're going to step aside for our national anthem, and when we come back, it's time for kickoff between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. That's on the way next here on
Tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The captains meet at center field. You can feel the anticipation. We are set and ready to roll for week one here in Class 11A between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. Good evening. Welcome all to Live Ticket TV as we have ourselves a doozy of a very first football game of the season. Plenty of media right now out there as well for that coin toss. And it doesn't get much better than this, along with our producer, Cole. my second man color commentator, Jacob, tonight. And Jacob, I know you have been anticipating this one as well. How excited are you finally to get this season underway and just get back into the swing of high school football?
I tell you what, when August rolls around, you just know something's different in the air, and it's because it's high school football season. That's what we enjoy in this state. That's what many people enjoy, and it's going to be another fun season, I'm sure.
You talk about South Dakota. If there's something they really relish in, it is all built. They could say even some schools built around the football programs. The schools live and die for their high school football, and that's exactly what we have ourselves here inside the Dakota Dome. Now, the Dakota Valley Panthers win the opening coin toss. They defer, which means we will see this Vermillion offense on the field first, and exactly what head coach Tom O'Boyle can bring out. And as we mentioned, a lot of pressure that is coming on this not young squad, but just unexperienced squad for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of new faces on this team and a few starters that have come back. And, of course, Tom O'Boyle talked about that in the pregame with the losing guys like Jack Kratz, Nick Sorensen. Going to have to replace some very key players that have been very influential the last few years on this Tanager team. But a lot of new faces and then some experienced players to go with that can help these younger guys along.
Well, we are set and ready to go. The Vermillion Tanagers, of course, in their home uniforms, which are in all red, numbers and letters that are in white, along with the white helmets that have the Tanager logo on the side of their helmet this year, whereas the Dakota Valley Panthers in the traditional traveling uniforms that are in all white with the numbers that are in deep purple, outlined by black, and the purple and black helmets that have the sergeant stripe that runs down the minute of their helmet. Trey Pyle has it teed up, boots this one deep. It's rolling close to the back of the end zone. Finally picked up. Vermillion has to bring it out of their own end zone, but they are going to whistle it dead as it was picked up there in the end zone by by Trillin Sorrell for the Vermillion Tanagers. So it'll be brought out to the 20-yard line, and here we go as the new general for at least the first two games for the Vermillion Tanagers. Sean Doan takes his first snap at the varsity level. That doesn't come in the second half. And they're going to come out with trips to the nearest side. Deuces wild over to the far side of the dome. The head referee, Aaron Tweep, blows his whistle, but then holds up his hand as we continue to wait, as it looked like there for a moment Carter Skogsberg was getting set on the line. Finally give that clap, we're ready to go, and Sean Doan will take the very first snap, and he gets hit hard. He found his way up the middle for 2 yards and then got dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Well, that's your first play as a starting quarterback, Heath. Probably not what he was hoping for to get leveled like that, but man, what a hit.
Welcome to high school football, young man, as he did bounce up quickly. It brings up now 2nd and about 6. This time they're going to hand it off to the wide receiver and finding some room, getting up close to the first down marker for the Vermillion Tanagers was Connor Larson. He was drugged down, it looks like maybe a foot short. It will bring up 3rd and inches. Or no, they are now moving it forward. He picks up enough for a first down.
Yeah, Vermillion going with this trips right formation. We'll see if they continue with that look on this drive.
So Connor Larson went in motion, took it to the outside, and was able to pick up 6 yards exactly for a first down. It is the very first down of the football game as well. This time the read option, but they're going to give it right away to Jeremy Crow, and Crow just finds himself bottled up around the hashes, starts squirting his way over to the far numbers, but goes down for about a gain of 2. For Jeremy Crow, he really needs to step up and have himself a big year. I know as a senior, he really wants to have himself. How big and how much important will he be for this squad, Jacob?
He's going to be very important. We've seen him the last couple years. He's been playing a lot of football for this Vermillion team, so he's going to be one of those guys that's going to have to lead as a senior.
We'll see if he can't do that. With now 10:52 here in this first quarter, we're past 1 minute away. Again, 2nd down and about 8. Throw over, first completion, caught and quickly bottled up, but Luke Knudsen is able to catch it for about a yard, maybe 2, and will now bring up 3rd down and 6. So Luke Knutson, the kicker a year ago, as he came in actually halfway through the season to kick and then got his chance to play a little bit of safety, gets the very first pass of the season for the Vermillion Tanagers. But now on 3rd and 7, Vermillion with trips to the far side, trying to pick up a first down. Sean Doan rolling, finds his target. That's Zone Robinson at the 41. Zone Robinson went right past the first down marker, turned around on the curl route, and shuffles his way in for 9 yards. And it's a first down for the Vermillion Tanagers, their second first down here on this drive.
They're doing a nice job of spreading the ball around, Heath. They're getting guys involved in the running game and in the passing game, and that's what you like to see, that balanced offense.
And quickly, Sean Doan already 2 passes, 2 completions for 11 yards and a first down. Vermillion is 1st and 10 at the 42. A little bit of a bobbled snap there by Sean. He's able to just kind of didn't know what to do with it, so he handed off to Jeremy Crow right away. That was basically a broken play. Crow gets right back to the line of scrimmage, if that, and it will bring up now 2nd down and 10.
A little bit of an experience there with the quarterback bobbling the snap. You know, he'll get more used to that as the game goes on and got to be able to collect those snaps.
Spread offense once again as it's trips to the near side. Deuces wild to the far side. At the hashes, standing at the 37. Sean Doan takes the direct snap, trying to make some kind of movement up there, and you have to give a lot of credit, a pickup of 3 yards, but so far this offensive line, a lot of unexperience, has certainly been able to throw around their own way.
And they're going to have to, Heath, they're going to have to get a push up front if they're going to make something happen. Dakota Valley very aggressive early on, especially at plugging up the middle here, but a nice 3-yard run that gets you to a 3rd and manageable.
3rd down and 7. Twins on either side. Standing at his own 40 is Sean Doan in shotgun formation. Now puts 1 in motion. That is Connor Larson. Rolls out to the motion side, to the wide side of the football field, but he is going to get tripped up about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 1, and now brings up 4th down and 7 for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Great job by Dakota Valley getting pressure on Doan, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight. You got to get into the backfield and make this young quarterback uncomfortable, and they did that a few times on this drive. They were able to get in the backfield, stuff Vermillion for short gains, and then get pressure on Doan when he was trying to pass.
Vermillion able to pick up 2 first downs on their opening drive, but not able to get past the 50, and now Luke Knutson is on to punt it away at the 34-yard line. Finally picks it up, but for Luke, this is not a good one. It goes more straight up in the air, takes a little bit of a bobble, and will go out of bounds about the 31-yard line. A little bit of extracurricular pushing and shoving. If there's one thing about these two teams, there is no love lost up and down Interstate I-29.
No, that's for sure. These are 2 big rivals, and of course Dakota Valley, they have not been a school for that long, really, compared to most schools. They began in the 90s, and so, you know, that's just one of those things where, you know, you get those new rivalries, or this is a fairly new rivalry compared to a lot of other DAC-12 schools that Vermillion plays, and so, you know, yeah, this is a rivalry, whether it's football, basketball, you name it.
And we are set and ready to go. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. A little bit of shifting of defense from Vermillion Tanagers. And on the sweep play, a little bit of space and putting his shoulder down, running over a Tanager. A nice pickup there from Tyler Schulte, the wide receiver turned running back. He picks up 9 yards on the opening play for the Dakota Valley Panthers.
A good first play there by Dakota Valley as Tyler, like you said, Tyler Schutte. He got a nice gain there. They had good blocking on the outside there to get him loose.
So 2nd down and 1. Ball now spotted at the 40-yard line. 7-14 here in the first quarter. We remain scoreless. Hanema in shotgun formation. This time he's going to hand it off and having some space up to the 45. Spun around but keeps his feet moving up to the 48, just outside the numbers. And a great pickup there for the Dakota Valley Panthers and getting a nice first down, this time from the running back, that is Lake Kinstner for the Panthers.
Dakota Valley getting a good push on the defensive side on their first possession, and flip it over to the offensive side, Heath. They're getting a lot of push up front here as well. And again, we talked about this in the pregame. You got to win the line of scrimmage if you're going to win football games. And so far, Dakota Valley doing just that.
2 plays and a total of right now 18 yards. And this time, Anima is going to keep it himself. And there looks like there's a little bit of a bottle of the football. Anima able to hold on to it. But this time, Vermillion wins the offensive line. But it looks like for the Panthers, they now know the read. Don't go up the middle. Just keep bouncing to the outside.
And you know, Vermillion had trouble with that on their first drive, too. Both teams really trying to stuff the run up the middle and force these teams to either throw the ball or try to work the edges a little bit. And, you know, both these teams have quite a bit of speed. So, I mean, they have guys that can get outside, and we're going to see if either of these teams can break the containment on the outside and get on the edge.
Right there at the South Dakota logo where we find ourselves here on Live Ticket TV set up as well, but just up in the air. Anima back to pass for the first time. He's going to step up in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, and he's going to take it himself. He tries to throw the stick down. You like to see that, but whoa. You are a senior quarterback. It's okay to slide because we see that quite often. You can't keep making those hits later on in the regular season.
Yeah, he's not afraid to lower his shoulder, Heath, and but you also have to take care of your body a little bit there as well. And you know, these high school kids, they love to just throw their bodies at each other, don't they?
They certainly do. And he got a good hit as well, was able to push his body forward, but now brings up about 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers. Ball at the 45 as they're in enemy territory. The sweep play, trying to find some space on the outside. Robinson isn't able to quite close it down, but coming up and laying a big stick this time is the junior Connor Rohrig to make sure it's close to a 1st down. But I think Connor came in just close enough not to allow it.
And the officials here looking at the spot. It's going to be close. Depending on where they mark it, I think they're going to mark him short. Yes, they will. They're going to mark him about a yard short, yard and a half.
So that one this time was Trey Peel. We've now seen 4 different guys carry the football for the Panthers. And now on 4th down and 2 with the ball at the 44-yard line, the Panthers are going to go for it. They're going to hand it off to Luke Kitzner, but he's hit in the backfield. This time by Carter Skogsberg. He blew through the offensive line, was able to trip up Luke Kitzner. He falls down at the 45. It's a loss of 3 and a turnover on downs.
A great penetration there by Skogsberg, and there were a few others there that were right there after him, and that was good penetration on the defensive line, and a great stop there for the Tanagers. They needed that one, so they get the ball back, you know, right at about where they were on their last drive.
And it all comes down to Carter Skogsberg. How bad do you want it as well? And he's certainly stepped up in a big way. 4:56. We haven't even had a stoppage of play yet here in this first quarter. And now Crow is in motion. We have a couple guys, the Panthers, that were pointing immediately, but the flag comes on the far side of the field. But it looks like it's going to be a false start called on the Vermillion Tanagers, so moves them back 5 yards. Will now bring up 1st down and 15.
Not the way you want to start your second possession after you just got a turnover on downs.
Yeah, don't shoot yourself in the foot, as they always say, and that's exactly what the Tanagers do. 1st down and 15, now ball at the 40-yard line. Doan is standing at his own 35. Shotgun formation, puts one in motion, moving from far side to near, but they're going to give it right to Jeremy Crow. And this time it was coming in from the backside. Charlie DeAugust, who's able to come up with the tackle. He came in free, just kind of went right around the offensive lineman, pulled the jersey of Crow from behind, and it's a pickup of about 2 yards. So now 2nd down and 13. And for Jeremy Crow, already 3 carries, just 4 yards here in the ball game. 4:23, first quarter, still scoreless between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. This time, it's going to be a fake to Jeremy Crow. Sean Doan is just going to follow Crow, who turns into a blocker, gets up to about the 47-yard line. It's a nice pickup of about 7 yards, and now makes it a manageable 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Doan not afraid to take off and run with that football. And that was a long mesh point between Crow and Doan, but Doan ended up keeping it. And was able to pick up a good gain there.
And I will say this much, Sean Doan really does look pretty experienced out there. I've liked what I've seen from him so far. I would never imagine that he's a sophomore quarterback. 3:35 here in the first quarter. This time it's a man in motion, but Sean's going to drop back pass, try to find his wide receiver, but just overthrew his intended target of Braden Bickett, the sophomore wide receiver here on the near side. That one falls incomplete and now brings up 4th down and 7. And basically in the same spot as their last drive, it all comes, though, to a false start. They put themselves in a hole immediately and could never dig themselves out.
Exactly, Heath. And that's one thing there, especially with a young quarterback. Like you said, you liked what you've seen from him so far, and I agree. And, you just got to be able to not put him in those situations.
Knutson gets a much better boot into this one. It brings the Panthers all the way inside their own 20. Catching it there about the 19-yard line was Randy Rosenquist. We should probably put the asterisks in there. Randy Rosenquist Jr., who was able to catch it right about the 19-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Dakota Valley. Just have to finish off a drive. They put together a nice few plays that sweep on the outside. Do you look to them to go back, or maybe do we start seeing the arm of Anima a little bit more?
They were able to get some good runs on that first drive, and I look for them to continue that. But why not try to beat this Tanager team deep and test them a little bit?
3:25 here in the first quarter. We're still scoreless between Vermillion Tanagers and the Dakota Valley Panthers. It's going to be trying to reverse. Ethan Anima just took off, but he had in fact handed off to Luke Kitzner, but Luke had nowhere to go. He was bottled up, in fact, a loss of about 3-4 yards, and now brings up 2nd down and 14.
And it looked like they were trying to do like a little inside handoff there. And that one, like you said, just blown up right away, and Vermillion did not give that one a chance.
And for this Vermillion defense, they really got punched them out those first 3 or 4 plays, but they have collected themselves ever since and have looked good. 2nd down and 14, 2:45 first quarter. Back to pass now is Anima. He's going to just take the simple pass. It goes out of one and into the hands of a second wide receiver. Making the catch this time for the Panthers was Sam Falmo after it went through the hands of Gunnar Montage, it looked like. Lucky play there from the Panthers.
Yeah, they were running the 2 out routes there. One was a little bit deeper than the other, kind of the levels play as they call it. And trying to throw to the short guy out in the flat, but it ended up bouncing off of his hands, and luckily for the Panthers, there was another guy right behind him.
So now bringing up 3rd down and a much more manageable 7 for the Panthers, who have the ball spotted at the 23-yard line. Anima back to pass once again. He just throws into double coverage. It looked like it was a great play there by both teams, but a late banana peel comes out right about the 34-yard line, and this has to be pass interference against the Tanagers. And it will be pass interference against Vermillion. Certainly not one to criticize the refs up here, but that one looked like it was fair play, as really no one was paying attention to the ball. They all kind of turned around at the same moment, all went up for it. I didn't necessarily see any pass interference there.
I didn't either, Heath. I agree with you. There was a lot of bodies around the area, so hard to tell, but it didn't look like anything from up here.
Well, nonetheless, it is a penalty. It is also going to be a 15-yard penalty. So now Vermillion has had 2 penalties for 20 yards that have included shooting themselves in the foot, and now on a big 3rd down and 7 after they looked like defended it perfectly, give up a 1st down to the Panthers and move them all the way up to the 38-yard line. So 1st down and 10, 2:33 here in the first quarter. Shotgun formation once again for Anima with 2 wide receivers to the near side. It's going to be a sweep to the far side, though, up the numbers and spun down about the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 yards for Luke Kitzner. After 4 carries so far, he has just 6 yards. Vermillion has shut down Luke very nicely.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with that. And, Dakota Valley's still trying to get around the edge. They're trying to get these jet sweeps and type of things like that, and they're really trying to work around the edge there. And Vermillion at times has bottled it up, but also at times has given up some big plays. So it's going to be interesting to see what Dakota Valley does to try to throw in these extra little wrinkles.
1:52 remaining here in the first quarter. We're still scoreless, and this time it's going to be a handoff and a couple missed tackles up past the 50 down to the 44-yard line. Well, Vermillion, it looks like they've been grabbing some momentum on defense. They miss a couple big tackles, and Tyler Schutt there takes it for another 12 yards and a big first down for the Dakota Valley Panthers.
And again, they're working the edges, Heath. They're really trying to work these plays off tackle and even these sweeps outside. And obviously there's something there that the coaching staff must be looking at for Dakota Valley. They're seeing something with this Vermillion defense, and they're saying, hey, let's try to get outside. Let's try to work these edges a little bit and get along the sidelines. And, Vermillion contained that play, but then there was nobody to come back and fill, so the linebackers weren't filling, and that was why the back was able to pick up some big yardage there.
67 seconds remain here in the first quarter. A little bit of confusion as it took Panthers some time to get to the line of scrimmage, and this time the back judge, John Carroll, was keeping track there and says, no, that's a delay of game, so move him back 5 yards. It's the first penalty against the Panthers tonight.
And we saw what happened when Vermillion had a penalty like that, and it backed them up, and then they end up having to punt the ball. You just can't have those. You can make the excuse first game of the year, first game jitters, but still, there's no excuse. You can't have those.
Can't have those mistakes whatsoever. So now first down and 15. And a quick play by the Panthers find themselves just past the original line of scrimmage, an extra couple of yards in there as well. And it's a pickup of 7, now making it a manageable second down and 8 for Vermillion as well. Don't give up anything big right here with 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Another nice run there for Dakota Valley. They got all that penalty yardage back and even gained a few more. So a nice pick of about 7 or 8 yards, and that's what you need out there on first down after giving up that penalty.
Ball spot at the 41-yard line. 28 seconds and rolling. Anima in shotgun formation with 2 wide receivers to his near side. Another handoff to Luke Kitzner. Kitzner up past the 40 and tussled down to the 39-yard line. Just a pickup of 2 yards. And with the clock rolling, at 10 seconds, Dakota Valley will not make another play, and we have seen an absolute dogfight here in quarter number 1, and we are scoreless through 1. Vermillion 0, Dakota Valley 0. We're going to step aside for a minute, and when we come back, it's second quarter. That's on the way here between Vermillion Tanagers and Dakota Valley. Panthers on Live Ticket TV.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
Well, back here inside the Dakota Dome after quarter number 1, we didn't even have a single break in the action. Things move very quickly between the Panthers and the Tanagers. And with the Dakota Valley Panthers right now on third down and about 5, ball spotted at the 39-yard line, we are scoreless, and we're back for the second quarter. Great to have you along here on Live Ticket TV. Heath, Jacob is my broadcast partner, and we have a big thank you as well. Cole, our producer, is helping us out right here inside the Dakota Dome. On third down, back to pass, wide open at the 8-yard line, catching it, touchdown are the Panthers. Trey Peel find himself open just past the secondary at the 8-yard line. It's a pass and catch of 39 yards, and it's the first touchdown of the football game belonging to the Panthers.
Great job there. They went with the play-action pass, it looked like, and of course Dakota Valley had been just lulling Vermillion to sleep, running those sweeps, trying to get outside, and just kind of, like I said, lulled the Tanagers to sleep, and then they were able to hit the big play, and that's what you need if you're Dakota Valley right away. That's a nice play there to start the second quarter for the Dakota Valley Panthers.
Yeah, great start for the Panthers, just 8 seconds in, and they now have the lead on the kick, the extra point. This one is up and good as Mason Mofert puts it through the uprights, and it's the Dakota Valley Panthers that lead it 7-0, 11:52 into the second quarter. We're stepping aside. We're back in 60 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Well, all it took was 8 seconds into the second quarter. One play, a touchdown pass of 39 yards, and the Dakota Valley Panthers find themselves on top after the extra point, 7-0. This one teed up by Trey Peel, who just caught it for the touchdown, and he puts this one through the back of the end zone. Well, how about that for a young man? Trey has been impressive with what he has been able to do, getting a touchdown and now putting one through the uprights. Jacob, this is now response time for the Vermillion Tanagers. They need to have a big drive. They need to score here.
They do. You know, he kind of got punched in the mouth there on that drive. Dakota Valley did a nice job moving the ball, running, passing. Again, trying to work the edges of this defense and really getting outside on a few plays. And then they hit the big pass play, and that's what you need sometimes. And now Vermillion got to be able to answer.
Vermillion Tanagers will start 1st and 10. Ball at the 20-yard line. Quarterback Sean Doan in shotgun formation at the 15. It is a low snap, and just as the play is going, they are going to have, I believe, a false start on the Panthers. Or, excuse me, on the Tanagers, excuse me. Yes, and once again, now the second drive that Vermillion has started off with a false start. This is now their third penalty that have moved 25 yards against them. 1st down and 15 now. Ball at the 15-yard line. 1:51 remaining here in this first half. Again, great to have you along here on Live Ticket TV, as it's going to be deuces on either side, and shotgun formation is Sean Doan. And this time they're going to put one in motion, hand it off, and trying to find some space, and nothing really working this time for Trillian Sorrell as he is gobbled up near the near sideline. A pickup of a yard, maybe 2, and we'll bring up now second down and 13.
A great job there by Dakota Valley's defense flying to the football, and that's what we've seen here throughout this first quarter, just a little over a quarter. Dakota Valley's defense is really getting to the ball. They're getting all 11 guys to the football, and just a really nice job pursuing, and that's the athletes we talked about in the pregame. Some of these athletes that this Dakota Valley team has, they're very quick, very fast.
For the Vermillion Tanagers, a total of 8 carries for just 24 yards as a team so far. The run game needs to get going, and now Sean Doan feels that his pocket is collapsing. It does on top of him. He is sacked a loss of 2, and now bringing up 3rd down and 15. The first time that Doan really didn't look comfortable in the pocket. And again, now a long 3rd down upcoming for the Vermillion Tanagers.
A good pass rush there by Dakota Valley, that 4-man front, able to get penetration, and Doan just kind of, had to leave the pocket right away and really didn't have much time to throw.
We'll talk about that defensive line here in just a moment, because you have to watch one big man. He's kind of the nose tackle at times, who just takes up a lot of space. It's always going to be hard to block someone like a Joey Stockman. And we're going to have another penalty. And going back to that, I was talking about 76 there, right there on the defensive line in the middle. Joey Shockman, that senior defensive lineman, 6'4", 300 pounds. It is certainly going to be hard to stop him. Another false start against the Vermillion Tanagers. That is now their 3rd false start, moving them back another 5 yards and brings up 3rd down and a country mile. Ball is at the 10-yard line. Ball at the 9-yard line, and the shadow of their own end zone with 10:57 here on the clock in this second quarter. Doan in shotgun formation, standing at his own 5-yard line. Takes the snap. He fakes the handoff to Crow. Going to try to do it himself. And I don't know if that was a broken up play or if he was just trying to give his punt team some breathing room, but not quite a smart call there for the Vermillion Tanagers if they wanted to answer back after what Dakota Valley just did.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, if there was some miscommunication with the handoff or what happened, but yeah, just not a good drive there for Vermillion. Penalties and then the sack just really did not go over well there, and Coach O'Boyle is not going to be happy about that.
This time Luke Knutson gets a decent punt as a fair catch is made right about the 47-yard line, but still already in Vermillion territory. This is one of those moments that, okay, we've opened up the season. We did great that first quarter. All of a sudden, we just got socked hard in the mouth and eye. It seemed like it was a 1-2 punch. This is a time to respond back right now.
It is, yeah. The defense is going to have to step up here. And, as a team, you don't like to put the pressure on your defense, but you'd rather be able to put some points on the board with the offense. The offense has struggled, though. They've been backed up a few times. Defensively, this team is going to have to step up if they're going to make something happen. And Dakota Valley, I look for them to continue to attack the edges with these sweeps and then throw the passing game in the mix as well. They've done a nice job with that tonight.
Ball on the 46-yard line. Ethan Anima is in shotgun formation in their sweep play. This one goes to the outside. And Luke Kitzner is able to pick up maybe a yard or two, bring up 2nd down and 8. But I have a feeling, Jacob, that is what is going to be going on to really get their first play. It's just that constant sweep play, see if they can't find some type of space. It just seems like they're going right back to it every single time.
Absolutely. They've had success with it. We've seen several plays that they've gotten, 8, 10 plus, yard plays, and why not try to just keep working it? You never know. You might be able to bust something on a play. Defensive player misses an assignment, and then all of a sudden you're around the edge for a touchdown, so why not keep trying it?
Again, Cole, our producer. Jacob alongside me up here in the broadcast booth. I'm Heath Nimke. And now this time, a sweep, a wide receiver sweep that they have, again, another play that they have gone to quite a few times. And this one picks up a nice 6 yards and brings up a very manageable 3rd down and about 3, maybe 2 for the Panthers.
Yeah, they just keep going sweep left, sweep right, They tried going up the middle a few times on their first couple possessions, and Vermillion did a nice job of stopping it. And kind of ever since then, they've just been going, like I said, sweep left, sweep right, and then they maybe hit you with a play-action pass, and it's been working.
Play to the wide side of the field right now are what the Panthers are doing. It seems to be working. 8:54 remaining in this second quarter. Back to pass, and this one just goes through the hands of the intended wide receiver that was actually the defensive back, Trillian Sorrell. And now a 4th down and 3. Ethan Anima, as much as credit as we give him, that one was just trying to force the issue. He's got to be better than that as a senior experienced quarterback.
Absolutely, and he had him wide open. He had his receiver there. There was a little pocket to throw the ball in between 2 defenders and just overthrew him. And the play was there. The execution just wasn't quite there. So
on 4th down, 2.5, the Panthers Ball at the 38 are going to go for it. They put one in motion. They're going to hand off the sweep, then it's bounced straight back up the center. This time it's going to Trey Peel, and Trey is going to be close. He saw the outside close down on him and then tried to force the issue right back up the middle. The officials look like they're going to give a favorable spot to the Panthers. They are going to bring out the chains. And I know as we take a look at it here, this one is extremely close for the Panthers. 8:44 here in the second quarter. They're bringing out the chains. This one looks like it's going to be not enough. And it is a turnover on downs. Vermillion defense makes a stand. They make a stand, turnover on downs. And it will give Vermillion the football back at the 36-yard line. So, bend, don't break mentality. And Vermillion, with plenty of time, only trailing by 7 here in the second quarter, 8:44, have something to work with and momentum on their side.
And you know, Heath, again, Dakota Valley ran that sweep play, but there was a nice job. I don't know who the defensive end was on that far side, but did a nice job of containing the play. And then the linebackers were able to fill and make the play and stop him short.
Trips to the far side. Zone Robinson all by himself just past the hashes on the near side. Doan in shotgun formation. This one a quick little pass as everyone running curl routes. It's caught there on the far side by Luke Knutson, who makes his second catch of the football game. A gain of 4 yards and bring it up second down and 6. Just so much of an interesting story surrounding Luke. Again, if you hadn't heard about this, he wasn't even a part of the football team last year. He excels so well in soccer. In fact, he went down to Omaha to play soccer. His family brought him back, said, you need to get out for football. We need you as a kicker. And he went from a kicker to a safety, making some big plays last year for Vermillion, and now out there as a wide receiver as well. Just a great story to see from him. Back into action, another quick little pass, and this one is going to be read perfectly as making the catch. It was Connor Larson. He had no room to work with, loses one, but there is a penalty flag that comes on the defensive side, and looks like it's going to be, holding is called. Now this is extremely interesting. Holding at the 44-yard line. I mean, these wide receivers made a quick in and curl back in, I should say. And I don't know how you can get a holding called so quickly. I certainly missed it. But another penalty that hurts the Tanagers.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, Heath, but my guess is that it was probably a wide receiver that was blocking after the catch, and the defender tried going upfield and just grabbed the Tanager wide receiver, just grabbed too much of jersey, and the ref saw it. That's the only thing I can think of.
Another penalty that goes against the Tanagers, so you have to move it back 10 yards. Now bringing up second down in 16, so 5 penalties, 40 yards that have gone against the Tanagers. And again now second down and 16, ball at the 30-yard line, 7:58 remaining in this first half. Trips to the far side, Doan in shotgun formation, standing at his 25. It's another low snap. This one was a designed run the entire time, but could not escape the bear claws, and holding on and driving him down was Mitchell DeGuste again, and Mitchell making now his second big tackle against Sean Doan tonight.
And that one, Doan, he almost broke away, Heath. He was so close. But the defender was just holding on for dear life until help got there. And, man, if Doan could have broke that tackle, he had some room to run.
Now on third down and 15. Vermillion needs a big play here. Everyone spread out with trips to the far side. At the near hashes, Doan takes the snap. He looks on the route to zone. Robinson climbs the ladder and brings it in at the 37-yard line. It was Randy Rosenquist Jr., Zone Robinson battling just like they do on the basketball court, but this time Robinson wins it on the football field and comes up with a big play there for the Tanagers of 14 yards and a first down. Or excuse me, 24 yards and a first down. So now ball knocked at the 36-yard line. It's going to be trips to the far side once again at the 41, shotgun formation. It's going to be a direct snap, taking off and just right up the middle, nowhere to work, drug down at the 35. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 on the direct quarterback keeper for Sean Doan.
And going back to that catch on the previous play prior to this last one, I mean, what a job. What a throw by Sean Doan. That's got to give him some confidence standing back there and throwing that one. That was a big one that they needed. And what a job by Robinson going up to get that one. Just like a rebound in basketball.
Correction, there was a pitch and catch of 34 yards. So now we've seen 4 completions, 4 or 5 in the passing game for Sean Doan for 49 yards. And now trying to force something up the middle once again. Jeremy Crow gets bottled up and a loss of 3 yards, brings up 3rd down and 12. And for Jeremy Crow, it just has not been his night so far. 4 carries for just a yard. They have had his number. And now a timeout called from head coach Tom O'Boyle. 6:04 here in the second quarter. Jacob, what's the conversation right now here in this timeout? How big, after you have a catch that Zone Robinson is able to come up with, how big is it to keep this momentum going and come up with something here on 3rd down?
Oh, you need to. It's huge. You're already halfway through the second quarter. The offense has struggled. And like I said before, that throw has to give Sean Doan some confidence. I think moving forward, you got to be able to get a throw. They've tried to get some little throws going here and there, but that has to give him some confidence. And then the very next play, you have 2 or 3 Dakota Valley Panthers in the backfield, and so they just, it's like they take 1 or 2 steps forward and then they take another step back. And I think if you're Tom O'Boyle, you got to be telling them we got to stop the self-inflicted wounds, the penalties, the bad plays, the missed assignments on the offensive line. You got to be able to stop all those, because that's what's really hurting Vermillion right now. They've been able to move the football at times, even though it's a few yards here, a few yards there, and then maybe get a big play like we saw with Robinson, but they've been able to move the football, and it's just the holding penalties, the false starts. And then on this last play, you get blown up in the backfield for a loss of 3. So, because obviously somebody must have missed an assignment, at least one person missed an assignment. So it's just the self-inflicted wounds that Vermillion has had right now in this game that has hurt them.
Had to try to find their way out of it with 6:04 remaining in this first half. Vermillion, of course, easily in this game, only trailing 7-0. And you do have to feel with this ball at the 38-yard line as well. This is 4-down territory. I mean, yes, this isn't the end of the ball game by any means, but the way things have been going for the Vermillion Tanagers, their defense, besides one big pass play, has looked decent. You have to trust in what they have been able to do. We'll see what is drawn up now. Again, Vermillion rehuddled. They sent their troops out there. They were ready to go. The official said, no, you have more time. Take it. Then they came back, rehuddled. Let's see what they hashed out during this timeout. Vermillion does have 2 timeouts remaining. The Panthers still have all 3 of theirs. And again, on 3rd down and 12, ball at the 38 in Panther territory. Sean Doan is in shotgun formation, trips to the far side. Zone Robinson is by himself at the near side on the numbers, standing at the 40 on the 4. Doan claps his hands together, scrambles over to the far side. He's going to get hit from behind, and it's going to be a loss of 1, and now bring up 4th down and 13.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were trying to do there. It looked like they were trying to get Doan to roll out and give him options along the sideline, but Dakota Valley just busted that play up right away. The defensive end or linebacker, whoever it was, came upfield. Nice containment on the end, forcing Doan back inside, and they were able to take care of Doan with the backside of the flow of the defense. So great job there by Dakota Valley's defense.
And I think you can easily go for it here if you would have picked up yards, but losing yards. It is a punting situation. Luke Knutson gets a good boot into it. Again, puts the Panthers inside their own 20 all the way down to the 14-yard line. So it's first down and 10. And we'll see what the Vermillion defense can do. Again, we talk about one big pass play for 39 yards from Ethan Anima as he was able to connect with Trey earlier in this game. But otherwise, this defense has looked good. You have to trust in what they call the process of what Vermillion defense has been able to do.
Yeah, exactly. The defense has held their own. They've given up some plays, kind of been bend, don't break, except for that big pass play that Dakota Valley had for the touchdown. This defense has played pretty well.
And right now, throwing his arms up in the air, saying that he's all alone, is Jackson Hennis, but it's going to be blowing up in the backfield. This time, nothing going for the Panthers as they tried to make the handoff to Tyler, but again, blowing up this time by the Vermillion defense, and it's a big loss, bringing up second down and 14.
That was a great play there by the defense, able to get in the backfield, and that's what you like to see. You like to see the defense make plays like that, and you're really putting this Dakota Valley team, putting the pressure on them right now, backing them up inside their 10.
I don't know if I necessarily knew what was going to be coming into this game, but what we've had so far in this defensive battle, it certainly has been exciting for both the Panthers and the Tanagers. And now a flag comes out again. It looks like it's going to be another delay of game. That's now the second delay of game against the Panthers, and that moves them even further back into the shadow of their own end zone. They're going to put this one all the way down to the 5-yard line. So now second down and 18 upcoming for the Panthers.
And if you're Vermillion now, you gotta wonder, do we send guys? Do we send extra backers, safeties, anything like that? I think you do. I think you got to send some guys and try to force Dakota Valley to go back even further.
Anima at his own end zone, back to pass. He's just going to go out into the flats, and a broken tackle up along the sideline, but stepping out at the 16-yard line. Breaking free there were the Panthers. Just a missed tackle this time for Jackson Heine, and will bring up third down and now 8, a pickup of 10 yards.
That was a nice play call. Get the ball out of your quarterback's hands quickly because you're going to have pressure coming, and Vermillion brought pressure as we said they would, and nice job, Anima. Get the ball out of his hand quickly, and then just another broken tackle, another mistake by this Vermillion team.
So now on third down and 8, the blitz is on, and Ethan Anima will be drugged down. It was an all-out jailbreak by the Vermillion Tanagers, and Ethan Anima had nowhere to go. A loss of now 10 yards, and it's going to bring up fourth down and 18, punting from their very own end zone.
And this is what you needed if you're Vermillion. Now, most of this game, the field's been in Dakota Valley's favor. They've been on the Vermillion side quite a bit. Now you just flip the field, and now you're going to get a good field position off of this and maybe even try to get a blocked punt.
Trey Peel standing in the back of his own end zone at the Coyotes' own. Takes a high snap, but able to pull it down and gets a good boot here. And this one to put Zone Robinson all the way back to the 38, but he'll pick it up, turn around, and now try to find some space. And he's got some on the outside, but the shoelace tackle is able to come up big there for Cade Kessler, making a big tackle for the Dakota Valley Panthers, and Vermillion will set up shop at the 42-yard line. Great punt as well. We talked about Trey, who made that touchdown catch. We've talked about his defensive performance, his kicking performance, and a big spot like that really helped out his team with a huge punt.
Yeah, absolutely. Vermillion still gets good field position, but man, he drilled that one clear back to around the 35, 40-yard line, and great job there to kind of flip the field, but again, Vermillion, great field position to start.
Vermillion Of course, they want to score here, but also want to be watching the clock now. 3:32 remaining in this first half, trailing 7-0. You want to use a lot of this clock as well if you can. Don't give the Panthers another opportunity. And now a pass that there was great coverage there from Braden Stivers, and now a late penalty that will come in. And it looked like Braden Stivers had his hand on the back of Trillin Sorrell, and a late penalty flag comes in for a pass interference, and that's going to be an automatic first down for Vermillion. Helped out in a big way. Vermillion will now move the football all the way up past the 50 and into Panther territory, all the way down to the 43-yard line. What a huge pass interference play there against the Panthers.
Yeah, that's not what you want. If you're Dakota Valley, you want it. You don't want to give up any points here before halftime. That certainly doesn't help their cause any, giving up a big penalty like that, 15 yards.
Trips to the far side, 3:28 here in the first half. Trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Sean Doan in shotgun formation, standing at his own 48. This one, a quick pass, and breaking through, putting his hands up, is once again Trey Peel knocking it away. They'll bring up second down.
Great play there by the defender. You know, when you can't get to the quarterback, you're taught as really any defensive player, more a defensive lineman, but any defensive player, you're taught if you can't get to the quarterback and you're blitzing, you get your hands up and you jump and you try to bat that ball down as he's throwing, and that's exactly what happened.
And again, we just talk about what Trey has been able to do, and now not only his punting, but there again, his defense makes a big play. Second down and 10. Again, the ball spotted at the 43-yard line. Shotgun formation for Sean Doan. It's a low snap. Going to fake the handoff. Took a shot in the face mask, and it looked like it was completely accidental, but a late penalty flag comes out, and this one will go against the Panthers after Sean Doan was able to pick up about 3 yards on the run. And again, face mask. And this will help out the Vermillion cause with 3:22 remaining in this first half. And this one going to march it even further into Panther territory. And again, in high school football, do want to clarify, there is no such thing as an accidental face mask. I think people think that all the time. No, that does not exist at the high school level. It's an automatic 15 yards. So the ball gets spotted now down to the 31-yard line. Vermillion, or excuse me, the 26-yard line. Vermillion in great position. Shotgun formation once again for Sean Doan with trips off to his far side. Zone Robinson all alone on the near side. They're going to bring it this way. It's the pitch play out to Jeremy Crow, who's up to the 21 and wrestled down there by Jace Barber. Bring up, though, a very manageable second down and 4, and Crow has his biggest run of 6 yards of the night as well for the for the Tanagers.
And that's one of the best runs we've seen all night from Vermillion in general. They've struggled to run the football at times, but that was a nice run on the option play there on that speed option. And you know, Vermillion might want to try to take a little play out of Dakota Valley's playbook and just try to run and get on the edges.
Well, same formation as the last play. Standing at his own 25. They're going to try to run the option once again. I'm not for sure if that was option or if Jeremy Crow was coming up to block, but Sean Doan was doomed from the start, had absolutely nowhere to go, and now brings up third down and 8 after a loss of 3 yards.
I'm not sure what that was there either, Heath. It looked like you said, it looked like Doan was trying to run the option, and Crow, instead of going behind him and being in pitch relation to him, he went in front of him. So I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication with the play call or what was going on there, but clearly some communication of some sort.
2 minutes and rolling. And now the Tanagers are watching the clock. Again, don't want to give it back to the Panthers, but on third down and 8, they need to pick up a first down. And now we're going to get a timeout from head coach Tom O'Boyle. We're back in 60 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, on 3rd down and 8, Vermillion after the timeout from head coach Tom O'Boyle has 1 remaining. What do they come up with as they put Crow in motion on the near side? Sean Doan back to pass, and he has the blitz right down Broadway. And once again, his name is Trey Peel. Gobbles him up. It's a big loss and even puts Vermillion out of field goal range, a loss of 12 yards, and brings up 4th down and long at the 34-yard line.
He came in there like a bullet, didn't he? Man, oh man, I don't even know if he got blocked on that play. He just came in and just leveled Sean Doan from behind, and Peel has been all over the field today. Probably an early candidate for the player of the game.
I would certainly have to agree with what he's been able to do now. Vermillion at this point on 4th down and 18. They just take a delay of game. Ultimately, what they're just trying to do there is work down the clock. It's now at 1:05. Give the Panthers as little time as they possibly can.
Work down the clock and give the punter a little more room to be able to back Dakota Valley up deep. You'd love, if you're a Tanager fan, you'd love to see them back the Panthers up yet again. Unless they're going to go for it. Doan's still on the field. Looks like the offense is still on the field.
Now, we saw this last year as well from Jack Kratz in this offense. They would keep him out there, and he would just catch and punt it away quickly. We'll see if that's kind of the same aspect as they'll do here once again. As you mentioned, they are still out there. 4th and 23. Ball at the 39-yard line. 1:05 here in the second quarter. Doan is going to be back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's just going to take off himself. I like his idea, but you got to throw it there. You're never going to pick up enough for a first down. He picks up a nice about 10 yards there, but it's going to be a turnover on down and give it back to Dakota Valley with 59 seconds remaining here in this first half.
And I'm not sure, Heath, if he was supposed to throw it and he just got out of the pocket right away, or if that was a designed quarterback keeper too, just to tell him, hey, get what you can get and see what happens. I'm not sure, but I don't know. That was a little bit of a questionable call.
Ethan Anima now out there. They're going to try to hand it off, but it's fumbled. Fumbled by the Dakota Valley Panthers, and coming up with it is Braden Bickett for Vermillion, and with 54 seconds, Vermillion has a chance once again. A gift from God. First play fumble by the Dakota Valley Panthers, and Vermillion will set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Wow, after I just said that was a questionable 4th down call, they get the ball back off a turnover, so hey, I guess it all worked out for the Tanagers.
They have to do something here right now, though. Ball at the 27-yard line, cannot be moving backwards. 1 timeout remaining. Trips to the far side. Stone Robinson all by himself on the near side. Claps the hands. Sean Doan back to pass. Has plenty of time. Looking over the middle. It is to Trillin Sorrell, and he comes up with a big catch inside the 10-yard line, and Vermillion all the way down to the 3. This one a pitch and catch of 24 yards. And quickly getting back to the line of scrimmage are the Vermillion Tanagers. Trying to line something up. They do have plenty of time with 45 seconds remaining. And now a timeout going to be called by Dakota Valley. How huge was that one, and how big so far has Trillin Sorrell, the sophomore wide receiver, been for the Vermillion Tanagers?
He's made some big plays tonight for sure, and somebody's going to have to for this Vermillion team. Somebody's got to step up and make some plays when you need it, and things are looking good right now for Vermillion. You're inside the 10 at the 5, and 45 seconds left. You've got one timeout left, so your whole offense is, your whole playbook here is open. You can run the ball if you want. You can throw it. There's a lot of different options you could do here, and certainly we've seen Sean Doan be able to make plays with his feet. Do you spread them out and try to run a quarterback draw again like we saw on that 4th down play just a few plays ago? Or do you try to run Jeremy Crow around the end? We've seen some good success with that. You could also try to roll Sean Doan out and get a pass play out of it, or maybe a run pass option even, if you can get Doan out of the pocket and roll him out, and he can throw or he can run. There's a lot of different things you could do here with this offense.
2 wide receivers split to either side after the Dakota Valley timeout. Sean Doan in shotgun formation, standing at his own 10-yard line. Now puts one in motion, moving from right to left. That's Trillin Sorrell. It's going to be a Sean Doan keeper, just trying to bounce his way to the outside. Doesn't find enough space. Loses about a yard. And now another quick timeout called as they separate some bodies. Jeremy Crow slow to get up, as it looked like he might have been stepped on, but it was a timeout called by the Vermillion Tanagers. So Vermillion and head coach Tom O'Boyle will have a moment to think about it. We'll keep it right here on Live Ticket TV. Don't forget to download the Live Ticket TV app. If you did not know, Live Ticket TV and 605 Sports continue to expand across the state of South Dakota, now covering over 60 schools across the state of South Dakota and growing by the day as we're adding 3 more schools here in just the past week. So make sure you download the Live Ticket app today. You can find it in the Google Store or, of course, on the App Store for your Apple device. Well, looking around quickly at halftime, number 1 at Madison trails against number 4 Del Rapids 14-7. In fact, it's been low scoring kind of all around the entire state, at least in Class 11A. Right now, with 1 minute remaining in the second quarter, Beersford leads it over Millbank 14-6, and at halftime, it's Canton on top of Sioux Falls Christian, 21-14. We'll get into more scores here. We'll get into more scores right now. Kind of a blowout that is happening in Class 11A, 24-0. Lennox leads it over Chamberlain. Also out on the west, it's Belle Fourche, a Class 11A team that leads it over AA Douglas, 14-8. That one is still in the second quarter. In AA action, it's T-Area all over Huron, and they're not even at halftime yet. Good Lord, 45-0 there. Brookings on top of Watertown, 12-3 at halftime. It's St. Thomas More beating Spearfish 21-0, close to halftime there. Right now it's Yankton all over Mitchell at halftime, 24-0. And then a couple of games, Pierre and Aberdeen Central, Rapid City Central and Sturgis Brown will not be happening until tomorrow. That, of course, is due to ref shortages across the state of South Dakota. That's why you see sometimes games played on a Thursday, games played on a Saturday in this early part of the season. No, it's not a ref shortage playing Belle Fourche on a Thursday. That's just the last game of the season. Gentlemen, we have a fun trip ahead of us. If you guys want to make the trip out to Belle Fourche, South Dakota with me. Back into action here after 2 consecutive timeouts. It's second down and goal. Ball at the 7-yard line. Trips to the far side. Zone Robinson to the near. Knee-high snap. Doan's keeping himself. He's going to turn it upfield at the 5, but doesn't have enough space. Tripped up at the 4. It's a pickup of 3 yards. Now third down and goal. Clock continues to roll at 22 seconds. Vermillion knows they need to go quickly on third down and goal. They're just going to spike it. They're going to spike it. I feel as though that was a very questionable call there to spike it with 18 seconds. Yes, you can bring out the field goal team. You have to bring out the field goal team, or you run the risk of not scoring whatsoever.
And, I think in that situation, Heath, if you're Coach O'Boyle, I think you got to have 2 play calls there. In case this situation happens, and it did, to where you don't get out of bounds, you don't have an incomplete pass or something, or you don't score, you can have 2 plays. You can run your third down play then, and then you still got time. If you don't make it on third down, you might have 4 or 5 seconds left. You can kick a field goal. But to just give up on third down, I think you got to have 2 play calls there.
Unfortunate for the Tanagers not to get across the goal line, but now on to try to kick the field goal is Luke Knutson. And before that happens, it was a bad snap, and a penalty is upcoming. And right now it looks like the Vermillion Tanagers are going to get bailed out with the delay of game. Oof, that was a blessing right now for the Vermillion Tanagers, because that was a bad snap.
It was, and this actually might help them in another way too, where yes, you back up 5 yards, it's 5 yards longer, but it makes the angle of the kick a little easier as well, because when you're up close and you're on the far hash like that, on either hash, it makes that angle of that kick a lot harder. So you back up, you give your kicker a little bit more of a better angle at making this kick.
So we'll redo it. Ball spotted now at the 10-yard line, the 9-yard line. In total, a 19-yard field goal. This one is up and through the uprights. It is good, and Vermillion is able to add points right before halftime. They trail 7-3 over the Dakota Valley Panthers. But a big possession there, a fumble that turns into points. That comes out big there that time.
Oh, absolutely. They needed something here before halftime just to get a spark. They've just struggled on offense at times tonight. We've seen some big plays, Zone Robinson making some plays, Jeremy Crow having some decent runs there. Sean Doan with a few decent plays as well with his arm and his legs. But they needed some points. And this game's not over yet. They're not out of this game yet. Dakota Valley, though, they've had much of the momentum, and Vermillion, they get a little bit of that momentum back going into halftime. 13 seconds left before the half, so you got to hold off a Dakota Valley score here. But certainly, this is, you can't be too disappointed if you're a Vermillion fan or coach right now, and as you got some points on the board.
And on the opposite side, you'd have to say you're extremely disappointed for the Dakota Valley Panthers. A couple opportunities to maybe add some points of your own, or even get Vermillion offensively off the field, but just kept them out there way too long. Their defense had to try to make a stop, kind of able to do so. But this certainly could be looking a little bit different as we see this squib kick. It's going to be picked up at the 15-yard line by Junior. Junior tries to find a little bit of space up past the 25, wrestled down at the 27-yard line. And again, with 6.7 seconds remaining, we'll probably see a simple run and go to halftime with the Panthers on top. Well, as we will do throughout the halftime segments here on Live Ticket TV, we'll have our interviews, of course, our Vermillion Booster interviews and who they feel appropriate to have. But first, coming up here at halftime, we'll have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Keith Gestreen, the Vermillion Booster president, talk a little bit more about what did happen. A huge booster bash that you guys had just last Friday. Great turnout. We'll be talking more about that and how you can help out the Vermillion Boosters as well. Well, Ethan Anima takes the direct snap. He's just going to keep it going on his feet himself. He's going to just bully his way up to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 9 yards, and that will end the first half. But again, with the Vermillion Tanagers trailing by 4, 7-3 over the Dakota Valley Panthers. We're back in 3 minutes for our halftime here on Live Ticket TV.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
I figured the man would like some Guns N' Roses November Rain. Joined with Keith Gestrine, the Vermillion Booster president. Now, I know you were set to retire from the position, but you kept on going this year. How has it been? I mean, again, I was at the Booster Bash that you guys put on last week, a huge success. What has been going on with the Vermillion Boosters, and what have you guys been up to getting ready for this fall season?
Well, like you said, we just finished up our Fall Booster Bash. That's our big membership drive for the year. But I'd like to remind people that if they're still interested in joining, that we're online. Go to gotanagers.com and you can register online. We've got a lot of different membership levels. I'm sure you can find one that'll fit. And we stand an invitation. We did have Booster Bash, but we'll take memberships through the whole year.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, gotanagers.com, and that can be as an individual, that can be as a family, that can be as a business as well, correct?
Correct, yes.
And of course, you'll find yourself on banners all across the gymnasium and other locations as well throughout Vermillion High School when you become a Vermillion Booster. The last couple of years, you guys have been up to a lot of big projects. Now, what are the other next big projects that are coming in that we're looking at for Vermillion Boosters and giving back to the sporting, not just football, but for all athletics?
We just finished up our big capital improvement projects, and that included the practice football field and more recently the practice soccer field. And we're kind of taking a breath now between big projects like that. We still help out with the teams, like attending games, attending camps, whatever we can then. We're working on our project list. We don't have one set right now, but we're working on it.
Now, also want to give a reminder that when we buy athletic gear on gotanagers.com, that a portion of that money also goes back to the Vermillion Boosters that then is going back into new uniforms, new warm-up gears, and everything like that for the students, correct?
That's correct. And then also there's different times during the year for the different sports like volleyball, football, soccer, that there'll be an open shopping day with Ambush, and that's a company up out of Brandon that does a lot of our gear for us. And if you buy on those days, then not only the boosters we get a portion back, but the individual club does too.
Wow.
So there's money that goes directly to volleyball, money directly to football.
GoTanagers.com and your Facebook page as well.
Facebook page, yes. Yep.
That's the easiest way to find out more information and to follow along. So make sure you do that. Keith, as always, I appreciate it. We'll be catching up with you more throughout the seasons, all right?
All right. Thanks, Heath.
There he is, Keith Gestrine here on Live Ticket TV on the Vermillion Boosters and helping us out for a halftime. We're back in 2 minutes here on Live Ticket TV.
This This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Well, the boys of summer may be gone, but the boys of fall are here. And we've had ourselves in a dogfight so far throughout the first half, as at right now at halftime inside the Dakota Dome. It is the home team that is trailing 7-3 right now, with the Dakota Valley Panthers ranked number 5 in the preseason polls on top of the Vermillion Tanagers. It was great to have the Vermillion Booster president, Keith Gestrine, join us. Talk a little bit more about the Vermillion Boosters and what they have been up to. Again, their Booster Bash was just a huge success to kick off the fall sports. I know a lot of money raised, but a lot more pizza was eaten as well. But a great event happening last Friday. And as we continue on, let's get back into football action as bring back in my broadcast partner. Again, Cole also helping us out here with our production today. But Jacob, so far as we mentioned, we have seen ourselves in a very big dogfight, 7-3. Did we necessarily expect it to be this type of score here at halftime?
I didn't personally, and I don't think a lot of people did either. I thought there'd be a few more points on the board. And both offenses have had chances. Both offenses have had chances to put more points on the board. And we saw that right before halftime with Vermillion. Had a chance to put a touchdown on and tie this thing up, but just weren't able to do it. Penalties have been a problem for both teams, especially Vermillion. But just a few big plays from both teams, but, man, some missed opportunities as well. And I think that's why we've had the low-scoring penalties, missed opportunities. But really some good defense as well. I think we'd be mistaking ourselves if we didn't mention how good the defenses have been. Trey Peel has been the guy for Dakota Valley. He's been the guy on offense, defense, special teams. We've seen him in all 3 phases of the game. And he's been one that has made play after play after play tonight for Dakota Valley, no matter where he's at on the field. And It's just that one big pass play that Dakota Valley had for the touchdown, and that's really the difference in this game.
It certainly is. As you mentioned, both teams have had plenty of opportunities to just kind of, I want to say, grab momentum, really take a hold of it and say this is their own game. They have not been able to do so, and I think that's going to be the biggest key factor as we move into this second half, is who can grab that momentum. As we mentioned, we watched there on the instant replay with Peel coming up with that big 39-yard touchdown catch. He just got right past the defense. Again, big thank you to our producer, Cole Larshier, helping us out in the broadcast. I know, Cole, we're going to get you on a headset here as well. Of course, you can yell at Jody Brozick, who only sent us with 2 headsets, so we would have gotten you in here on this, but we'll make sure we let Jody know next time, not 2. Let's just give us 4 headsets because the Master Switch can handle it all. Well, looking back here at the first half stats, we have seen some great passing from the sophomore quarterback, Sean Doan. So far, he's 5 of 7 for 73 yards. He really hasn't forced a whole lot, but in the run game so far for the Vermillion Tanagers, it's kind of really non-existent. When you take a look at it, they've carried the ball 20 times for just 21 yards. They have really struggled in the running game. On the opposite side, Ethan Anima so far is just 3 of 4 in the passing game for a touchdown, 57 yards. He's been bailed out by a drop in there that could have been an interception, also bailed out by a couple pass interferences as well. But in the running game, there has been a lot more bigger success for the Dakota Valley Panthers. In total, they have carried the football 22 times for a total of 59 yards. So again, they've had a little bit more success, and it's come, Jacob, a lot from the sweep play that they found a lot of success, especially in that first quarter.
Yeah, we saw that play from Dakota Valley quite often in this first half, and they just liked running those sweeps and trying to get outside. And Vermillion at times was able to bottle it up, and I think they started to figure that out in the second quarter a lot more than the first quarter. But just really, Dakota Valley, that's kind of their bread and butter, it seems like, so far in the first half. And they were able to use that to their advantage, because then they faked the sweep and were able to throw it deep for the touchdown pass on the first play of the second quarter. And so that's a lot of times what happens. You run the ball to set up the pass, and that's what Dakota Valley's been doing, and they've been doing it effectively. They haven't thrown the ball a lot, but when they have, they've been able to get some nice completions, or Anima's been able to get out of the pocket and make some plays with his legs as well. So it'll be interesting to see what these offenses do, because the defenses have played really well. Like we said in the first half, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments the offenses make to try to get some more points on the board.
Certainly will be. Before we get into the second half, we're at another 3 minutes. They're currently in their warm-ups. Let's take a quick look at scores, more specifically in Class 11A. Let's start off there right now. It's Lennox all over Chamberlain, in Chamberlain, 30-0, as they are just starting the third quarter. Right now at Trojan Field at Dakota State University, it is Del Rapids that leads it over Madison 14-7. There with 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Again, as we see, 7-3 here at halftime. Dakota Valley on top of Vermillion. Still in the second quarter, it's Belle Fourche on top of Douglas, 14-8. At halftime, number 3 Canton beating Receiving Votes, Sioux Falls Christian, 21-14. And also a late touchdown added by the Beersford Watchdogs in that first half. They lead it over Millbank, 21-6. Lakota Tech will take on Tripp Delmont Armor ACDC coming up tomorrow, and also West Central versus Custer is coming up tomorrow as well. Again, that is all due to games, with refs that are not able to be available everywhere. So certainly going to be interesting to watch that West Central Custer game that is coming up tomorrow, because those are 2 opponents that Vermillion will be seeing later on. Jacob, quickly before we start this second half, what's the key for Vermillion to make a comeback and win this?
I think you got to cut out the mistakes. We've seen a lot of penalties, a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We talked about that during the first half, that just a lot of things, whether it was penalties or missed assignments on blocks or things like that. And just things that, Vermillion would get a big play, and then they would go backwards the very next play, whether it was a penalty or just a bad, missed assignment, missed block, miscommunication on offense between players. So you got to clean up those mistakes, and I think Vermillion will be fine. This game's not over. It's a very close game. So there's a lot of football left here between these two teams.
There certainly is. Exactly 24 minutes of game time added back on, unless we see some extra. And the second half is officially underway with the soccer boot from Luke Knutson. Again, an outstanding soccer player that has found himself playing down in Omaha with his traveling team at times. That comes off the side of his foot so beautifully and goes into the back of the end zone. So the Dakota Valley Panthers will set up shop. First down and 20. Ball spotted again first down and 10. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. We'll see also maybe a few more pass plays maybe from Ethan Anima. As we mentioned, for official stats, just 3 of 4. A couple pass interferences in there, but again, he has a beautiful left arm. We'll see if they don't try to use that a little bit more. It looks like Vermillion's going to bring the jailhouse blitz. They back it off, and it is going to be a pass tipped up in the air at the defensive line. They say it hit the ground and falls incomplete, but the big dogs up front getting the paws up.
Absolutely, and we saw that with Dakota Valley in the first half where they batted down a pass by Sean Doan. And again, you're taught that as a defensive player, especially on the defensive line, that if you cannot get pressure on the quarterback, if you cannot get to the quarterback, your hands are to be up, and that is exactly what happened. And a nice job there. Not sure who batted that ball or not, but again, great job.
And look, that was on the far side there. That might have been, I believe, Ross Baylor, who was able to get his hands up on it. So second down and 10. Back to pass once again is Anima. Has a little bit more time. Just throws it deep. And this one is intercepted. Went through contact. Trillin Sorrell was able to hit him, but it was Walker, the senior, who's able to hold on to it, bring it down for an interception. It's back-to-back turnovers. Gary Culver gives a big fist bump and a high five to Jackson Heine as he comes back over. Vermillion quickly with momentum to start this second half, and now it's first down and 10. Ball in the Panther territory, spotted at the 47-yard line, trips to the near side. Zone Robinson all by himself at the numbers far side. And Vermillion trying to take their first lead of the football game. The sophomore Sean Doan, the quarterback, will hand it off to Jeremy Crow, who is bottled up immediately. A pickup of 1 yard. And that is one guy you just want to see get going as a senior. He just hasn't had that opportunity to break one free yet.
No, he hasn't. And that's one thing that Vermillion's tried to get him going at times. He's had a couple of decent runs, 5, 6, 7-yard runs maybe in the first half, but just hasn't had that big breakaway run, and he's capable of that. When he gets outside, he's a capable running back to break free, and just Dakota Valley's done a nice job of bottling him up tonight.
Trips to the near side once again. Shotgun formation for Sean Doan, standing at the 50-yard line. Takes the belt high snap. A quick little pass. This time it's caught by Connor Larson. Larson is gobbled up quickly. A pickup of 3 yards. That is just Larson's first catch, actually. He's been targeted twice before for 2 incompletions, but his first catch. And now, 6 of 8 in the passing game. Sean Doan for 76 yards. And on third down and 5, a big spot upcoming here for the Vermillion Tanagers. We've mentioned it before. You not quite necessarily have to make this 4-down territory, but why not? Ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Doan, this time, on the option play. He's going to keep it himself, and this time picks up a nice 4 yards, but not enough. Brings up 4th down and 1. And we talk about the experience of Sean Doan, or inexperience going into this game, but has looked like a veteran out there tonight. Again, saw the pitch, saw it was being cracked down quickly on Jeremy Crow, kept it himself, able to bounce it up to the 38, and as we mentioned, 4-down territory on 4th down and 1. Something we have not seen the Tanagers do yet, go underneath center, and again, this time, shotgun formation as always. Doan at the 43-yard line. Fakes the handoff to Jeremy Crow, just going to use the feet himself. He was bottled up but kept him going. He didn't get there. Turnover on downs.
A great push there by Dakota Valley. Initially, man, he looked like he was going to get that second effort, that second surge, and get over the line to gain. But, man, Dakota Valley just doing a nice job of holding him back. And, again, they get the ball on that turnover on downs. Great stop there for Dakota Valley.
What is going to be the difference right now in this game? What is going to break it open? It seems like Vermillion forcing back-to-back turnovers, a forced fumble, an interception, have something going for them, but they've only been able to walk away with that field goal right before halftime. And with 9:39 remaining in this third quarter, Anima goes underneath center and he fumbles it. Never got the snap cleanly. He's able to fall back on top of it, but it's a dead play in the end. And second down and 10. And right now, Jacob, flip a quarter. And whatever it comes up with, that's the winner tonight.
Exactly. It's almost like it's going to take a big play. Somebody's going to have to create a turnover or get a big play on offense in order to break this game wide open, because that's how tight of a game this has been.
Yeah, going off that, you just said it. I think it might take a defensive turnover that results in a touchdown, a pick six, a scoop and score. Something's got to happen to just break it open for either team. These offenses, they get themselves in a great spot on the field. They just can't get it done right now because of how well the defense is playing.
Exactly, and it's going to take a defensive play like you just said, or one of these offenses is going to have to just bust one play to break this thing wide open.
Two wide receivers to the near side. Now one in motion. Anima back to pass, but he's got to get hit from the backside, but able to complete it over to the near sideline. 3 different penalty flags are down on the field. Anima got popped from behind, able to complete it to his wide receiver there, Tyler Schultz, and then penalty flags came flying in from 3 different officials, and we're going to sort this out. Looks like there's at least one on the Panthers. They do move the third flag that came in late to the same spot of the second one. And again, right now, Ernie Tweet is getting it all sorted out. And there is 2 penalties that are going to go against Dakota Valley. And this is going to push the Panthers all the way back to the 24-yard line. So a loss of 12 yards with the penalties. That is now 5 penalties, resulting in 52 yards against the Panthers today. Vermillion has committed 6 penalties for 45 yards. And now on second down and 24, it's going to be a handoff on the sweep, breaking 1 tackle, continuing to keep his feet moving, drugged down at the 36-yard line. It's a pickup of 12 yards for number 12, Jackson Boonstra, for the Dakota Valley Panthers.
And just when you thought Dakota Valley had a big play, they get not 1 but 2 penalties that back them up. But a nice run there by Boonstra. And that'll set them up, still a 3rd and long, but more manageable than what they had after those 2 penalties. A nice gain there.
You can't let this one get away for Vermillion. Need to make a big stop right now on 3rd down and 12. Anima is back to pass over the middle, and he finds his tight end. Caught at the 45 and wrestled down to the 41-yard line. It's the tight end over the middle that's able to come up with a big play of Preston Carlson, the senior, making it happen.
What a play there, and he just found the middle of the field in that opening, and he was able to make that one happen, and that's a great play there on 3rd and long.
A pickup of 18 yards, and now 1st down and 10, ball at the 41. A sweep play once again, handed off to Luke Kitzner, and Kitzner able to pick up 7 yards. And it's that type of back-to-back-to-back plays that starts to suck the momentum away from the defense, start second-guessing yourself about anything that could be happening. And with 7:15 here in the third quarter, 7-3, Dakota Valley leads it over Vermillion. It'll be interesting to see if Vermillion can now make a stop as the Panthers are back into red territory. It's a low snap. Anima's going to keep himself, has plenty of space up to the 25. And now the pile trying to churn its way forward, finally shuffled down at the 23. But another first down, a pickup of 11 yards. And this seems to be going from bad to worse right now for the Vermillion Tanagers. As I mentioned, Jacob, just seem like they're second-guessing themselves every turn.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. They had Dakota Valley backed up on 2 penalties, and now Dakota Valley they came out and they were like, nope, we're not going to just lay down and die here and punt this one away. We're going to get the first down and keep moving, and that's exactly what they're doing. They've picked up some great gains here. And, they had a great gain on that play that they had the 2 penalties on.
So now 1 in motion as it's first down and 10. Ball at the 24. A pass that goes through the fingertips of Randy Rosenquist Jr. and intercepted by Zone Robinson. Up to the 50 and ushered out of bounds. And then a horse collar tackle at the end. No penalty flag comes in. It's the second INT for Ethan Anima here in this third quarter. And Vermillion defense, bend but don't break mentality, works again.
Wow, and what were we saying, Heath, earlier? Either one of these offenses is going to have to make a big play to break this game open, or one of the defenses is going to have to. And wow, that was a huge momentum swing there. Dakota Valley looked like they had all the momentum. They were going to march this drive in to score. And then look what happens. Vermillion gets the big break that they've been looking for.
And I believe they do end up calling a horse collar penalty because Zone Robinson was out close to their 45. They now moved it all the way up to 35. So another penalty against Dakota Valley. I missed the flag. It was called late. So Vermillion will set up in Dakota Valley territory, ball at the 35-yard line, 6:23 here in this third quarter. Again, 7-3, the Panthers on top of the Tanagers. Sean Doan, shotgun formation at the 40. Vermillion needs a big drive here. Low snap, it's going to be a swing pass out to Jeremy Crow, who has blockers out in front, push out of bounds at the 29-yard line, a pickup of 6.
Great first play there. Just get the ball out of Doan's hands, get it to your playmaker Crow, and let him do what he's capable of doing. Get outside and make plays, and nice gain there on first down.
Sean Doan now 7 of 9 in the passing game for 82 yards. 6:18 here in this third quarter. Trip to the near side once again. It's going to be fumbled by Sean Doan. He had it in an awkward position. It was popped loose, but his offensive line is able to get back on top of it for no gain. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line will now bring up 3rd down and 5. Again, it was an offensive lineman. I believe that was Carter Skogsberg, the senior, who was able to get back up on top of it. So, on 3rd down and 5, ball at the 30. Now we're going to have a timeout from Dakota Valley. We'll step aside and take the timeout with them. 5:51 remaining in this third quarter. We're back in 60 seconds on Live Ticket TV.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends. How to fit in. how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Third down and 5. Ball at the 30-yard line. 5:51 here in the third quarter after a big interception from Zone Robinson. The Vermillion Tanagers trying to get something here on this drive as they took over in Panther territory on third down and 5. It's a snap that goes to Doan, hands off to Jeremy Crow, turns and twists his way down to the 26-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down and 1. And Jacob, after the 4-yard run, it looks like Vermillion will stay out there and go for it. Good decision here.
Your offense has struggled all night. You need something here to try to build some momentum. Why not? I mean, your defense has played good enough. Your defense has made plays to keep you in the game. You gotta try to get 1 yard, I think.
Fourth down and 1. Ball at the 26-yard line. Shotgun formation for Sean Doan. It's a low snap. He's going to try to follow his blockers. He's trying to give that second effort, but just like it was on the first drive, history repeats itself for the Vermillion Tanagers. They can't pick up a single yard on fourth down. And a turnover on downs gives it back to Dakota Valley.
Yeah, they didn't get it, but I still like the decision to go for it. Maybe you try to get the ball in Jeremy Crow's hands on that play. I just think, it was the right play call, because if you try a field goal, that's what is that, about a 40-yard field goal or so? I mean, that's quite the field goal. So at least you give it a try to get that 1 yard. Maybe you try to get the ball in Jeremy Crow's hands instead.
Well, now the Panthers will set up shop. First down and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. First play is a design keeper for Ethan Anima. Tries to swagger his way through the defense up to the 29-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards. And you can also say, for these offenses, try to spend some time just out there as well. It seems like you really haven't had more or longer than a 3-minute drive. It seems like you pick up 1 or 2 first downs, and then you're giving it right back to the defense. So we'll see if the Panthers can't get a little bit of a drive killer put together. A sweep play this time, though, that's going to be read perfectly, and coming up and making a big play in the backfield for Vermillion. Reading that one was Raleigh French, the sophomore. It's a loss of 5, and now third down and 12.
Great job there by Vermillion getting into the backfield and making that play, forcing a third and long here. Again, these defenses have played outstanding this whole game. We've been saying that the whole game, and these offenses have just really struggled. Somebody's going to have to make a big play.
Third down and 13. Ethan Anima back to pass, has plenty of time, goes over the middle. It's knocked around, tipped around, falls incomplete. No banana peels out there, and it will be fourth down and 13. Well, just as I mentioned, trying to put something together for a drive, and here comes Dakota Valley punting it right back.
Yeah, both these teams have just really struggled offensively tonight. When they've had opportunities, they just haven't seized the moment. And, it eventually, again, like we said earlier, somebody's going to have to make a defensive play for a touchdown, or one of these offenses is going to have to make one play to change this whole game.
Well, now back to punt is Peel. It's low, but able to pick it up. Doesn't get a whole lot on this like we saw from him earlier. This one takes a Tanager bounce, now a Panther bounce back into across the 50, down at the 48-yard line. And Vermillion Tanagers will set up shop in their own territory. First down and 10, but there is a penalty flag all the way back here at the 19-yard line. It is holding that will go against Dakota Valley. So the question is, make them repunt it? Yeah, Tom Boyle's like, no, you betcha. You go repunt that sucker. Well, we'll see what it's going to result in here. So send the punt teams back on out. And it's going to have to be punted once again by Trey. Interesting decision here. You always kind of look at that and say, you know what, it's fine. We'll just take it. We'll go with it.
Yeah, that is an interesting decision, Heath. You know, I wonder if Tom's decision is, you know, it was kind of a bad snap. He barely got it off. Mm-hmm. You know, the pressure was there.
Yep.
Wasn't a good punt. You know, maybe you can back him up and maybe try to get a block, or you just get better field position if he does punt it.
Well, it's 4th down and forever. Now Trey standing at his own goal line. This time it's a perfect snap. He gets a decent boot on this one, and it's bouncing at the 48. So in the end, the decision results in about 6 yards. I mean, it didn't really take much of a factor there.
I think it was at the 48 of Vermillion the last time. Now you're at the 48 of Dakota Valley, so about a 4-yard swing there.
Yeah.
5-yard swing. They're going to mark it at the 47. So you gain an extra 5 yards, I guess. But
well, sometimes you try to play. Tom O'Boyle would say he wants to play checkers out there. He doesn't want to get all complicated, but I don't know what he was quite playing that time. He gets 5 yards. Here we go in the Panther territory. 4th down and 10. 3:20. Third quarter. Sean Doan still whispering something to Jeremy Crow. Now is set himself. He's back to pass, looking over to Luke Knutson. Knutson got his feet tangled up, and I'll have to say, a great call there by the official. Tom O'Boyle is making his run. He can't believe it, but Knutson just got his feet tangled up there with Bo Jones. Good no call by the officials.
Absolutely, yeah. It was just an incidental contact. Both guys playing the ball and just tripping each other up, so to speak. And so, yeah, no penalty there. I agree with that call.
And, of course, O'Boyle is hot about that because he thought his wide receiver had a great opportunity at a big play there, but will be incomplete now. 2nd down and 10, 3:15 here in the third quarter. Swing pass that is going to go beyond Jeremy Crow. He struggles to pick it up. It is behind the line of scrimmage, so this is considered a backwards pass, a live ball, and picked up by the Panthers at the 38-yard line.
Wow. Vermillion had the interception earlier. We thought that was going to be the big play defensively. Vermillion couldn't take advantage of it. Now Dakota Valley gets a fumble.
Who wants this football right now? It seems at this point, both teams are like, you know what? I don't want it right now. You can have it.
Wow. So now Dakota Valley gets the big break, and we'll see if they can take advantage of it.
It has just been back and forth. Both teams struggling with either turnover downs or just turnovers. And now Ethan Anima, design quarterback keeper, is just going to lower his shoulder, runs over one defender of Zone Robinson, and is up to the 31, a pickup of 7 yards. We said it earlier, he might not want to take those kind of hits, but he's been looking for him all night long.
And he's been the aggressor on those hits, too.
Yes, he has.
5'11", 195 pounds. You know, he's built like a running back. You know, he's built like a big running back, playing quarterback, and man, he just lowered the boom on that one. I'm not sure who he ran over, but my goodness.
Yeah, got the best of Zone Robinson. The extra padding around the tummy makes you feel a little bit more invincible. And now trying to hand it off to fullback, somehow able to do so and break free. It was a broken play, but somehow able to hand it off to Jackson Boonstra, and then Boonstra broke free and able to pick up 6 yards and a first down.
Wow, that play looked like it just got blown up right away, and then it looked like Boonstra and Anima just stopped. You didn't know who had the ball, and you didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden, Boonstra comes out of the pile.
So now down to the 25-yard line, 1st down and 10. Panthers in a great spot here to try to build on just this 4-point lead. We have only seen points in the first and second quarter, but just the lone points for either team. And now Boonstra has himself another big run, heading to the outside hashes, cuts it back inside, and is down to the 11, a pickup of 14 yards. And the Panthers in perfect spot to try to score with 90 seconds remaining in this third quarter.
Wow, Boonstra really running hard. He's not the biggest guy out there, 5'6", 155 pounds.
5'6".
But man, he's running like he's about 200 pounds. He is just running through guys and around guys, spinning off tackles. He is running hard.
Ethan Anima, shotgun formation, now puts one in motion, but they're going to hand it off once again to Boonstra. Finds some space on the outside. Boonstra is in from 11 yards out, and the Panthers build on their 4-point lead, now extend it to 10, lead it 13-3 with 60 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
What a run by Boonstra.
And he's just taken over. Jacob, to add to this, he's now had 4 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown, all coming in this quarter.
Yeah, he just took over on this drive. I mean, he just, like we said, he's only 5'6", 155 pounds, but he was running like he was about 200 pounds. He's just so strong, so quick coming out of the backfield.
So now on to kick the extra point. No, this one is going to be a fake throw over, missed tackle. Holy Toledo, it looked like it was broken. It had nowhere to go, and the 2-point conversion works. And the Panthers end up with 8 on this possession and now lead it 15-3 with a minute left here in the third quarter. We're going to step aside. We're back in 60 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Peel puts a good boot into this one, forces Zone Robinson all the way back to the 3-yard line. He's going to get wrapped up around the head, wrestled down about the 18-yard line, and, well, with 54 seconds remaining in the third quarter, you lost this battle if you're the Vermillion Tanagers, but you haven't quite lost the war yet. This going into the fourth quarter needs to be a drive that results in points. Don't let this one escape you right now. This needs to result in points for the Vermillion Tanagers. It can take as long as it needs. And of course, just here in the third quarter, after the 2-point conversion, which really did nothing for Dakota Valley getting that 2-point conversion, they lead it by 12, 15-3. Sean Doan ready to start this next possession as it begins at the 19-yard line. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. He makes some contact. He's up to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards, and brings up second down and 5.
Yeah, and if you're Vermillion, you just got to go back to the drawing board and say, all right, we gave up the score. We gave up a 2-point conversion. Didn't expect to happen. But get the offense back on the field and just try to run another play here before the end of the quarter.
We'll see what they can do coming up in the fourth quarter. Again, trailing by 12. They've only been able to get a field goal as more fans from USD also start to pile in as well, as I have to take a guess that the volleyball match has wrapped up against Louisville that was going on tonight over at the SCSC, and also a block party that was happening for the university. Of course, the students moved in last Friday. They have officially had their first week of school here at the university, as we mentioned, joined with Keith Gestring. Of course, that is President Gestring's husband. Joined us for their halftime. And after a run by Jeremy Crow that picked up another 5 yards, that is the end of the third quarter, where the Dakota Valley Panthers add just 8 points in the third, but now lead it 15-3. As we head to 12 minutes remaining in this one, we're back in 60 seconds on Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the
We move to the fourth quarter, 15-3. It is the Vermillion Tanagers that trail as we enter the fourth quarter. They have the football right now, starting first down and 10, ball at the 29-yard line, as they're looking for a big pass play right out of the gate. And this one is going to be a pass interference that will go against the Vermillion Tanagers, as it was Zone Robinson who kind of had Braden Stiver slow up a little bit, and just in the end, the ball was out throwing, but Zone Robinson tackled Stivers, so pass interference, and it will move Vermillion backwards. Kind of one of those plays that no one was even going to catch up with it. As an official, I feel like I would just said, let this one go.
Yeah, that's a tough call there for the official there, and you know, I understand.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, my, they're going to give Dakota Valley the pass interference. Man, I don't know on that one. I think if anything, Heath, I'd have given it an offensive pass interference because the defender was ahead of the receiver. The defender had a better chance at the ball than the offensive player.
Wow. So Vermillion, I agree with you 100%. If I was an official, I wouldn't even have called anything there. But if I was going to call something, it would have been against Zone Robinson. But Vermillion catches a break here. They're going to move all the way up to the 44-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. Set up shop, first down and 10. Back to pass once again. Miscommunication with Trillian Sorrell and Sean Doan. And this one is an interception that gives it right back to the Panthers. I'm going to chalk that one up as just two young sophomores that were on the same page.
Yep, exactly. And you could hear the Dakota Valley crowd after that pass interference. They were not happy, and well, I guess the Dakota Valley football team made up for it, getting the interception there. And wow, yeah, what a turn of events there in the first couple plays of the fourth quarter.
That's exactly that. And now for Dakota Valley, having a 12-point lead, just work the clock as much as they possibly can. Ethan Anima in shotgun formation. They're going to hand it off right now and trying to find some spaces. Luke Kinster. Luke is able to get past the 50 up to the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 8 yards. Bring up second down and 2. And watch out as well. Have to give a shout out probably to Jackson Boonstra. Again, carried the ball just 4 times for 43 yards in that third quarter, including a touchdown. he was impressive. We'll see if they don't start using him a lot more kind of in that fullback position. 2nd down and 2. Just past the 50. It's a sweep play, trying to find some space on the far side is Trey Peel. Carries it all the way out to the far boundary before he turns it up. Able to pick up a nice 7 yards and get a 1st down.
Again, going back to those sweeps that we saw in the first half, and that time it looked like it was going to get bottled up for a loss, but Peel was able to use his speed to get to the outside and get around the corner and get the 1st down. But they're mixing it up now. Boonstra being able to get up the middle a little bit with his runs, and then running Trey Peel outside. A lot of skill players that this Dakota Valley team has, and they've been using them well tonight.
I got nervous over there for a moment because a player has gone down with cramps for Dakota Valley, but at one point they were moving or messing with the chains. I'll get to an interesting story about that here after this play. Anima back to pass. He's got pressure from the far side. Able to escape 1, able to escape 2. Look downfield and find his wide receiver on his butt. That is coming up with the catch that time, Emmanuel Call, who is able to get the 1st down for the Panthers on the 11-yard pass play. But going back to what I mentioned earlier, last year in a football game, it was joked before, don't break the chains, ha ha ha, we don't have an extra set with us tonight. Usually we do. And by the 2nd quarter, we had broke the chains, and we had to have a 20-minute delay while someone went and picked up new ones from the University of South Dakota shed. So I got worried there for a moment if we were going to see an incident like that again. A handoff to Kinster right up the middle. Jacob, you like what Dakota Valley's doing, trying to put this one away, but you kind of like them to use some more clock now.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're Dakota Valley, just try to run as much clock as you can. And, they're not getting huge plays, so to speak, but they're getting good gains, 5 to 10-yard plays. You had a nice pass there for about, 15 yards or so maybe, but, you're getting those decent chunks of yardage where you're moving the sticks, but you're also running clock at the same time.
Trying to get some players in their correct positions as right now, clock continues to roll. Anima back to pass once again over the middle. And falls incomplete. And see, this is where I just like for the Panthers, run the football, run the football, run the football. No need to force anything over the middle. Just take care of what you're doing and try to finish this one out.
Yeah, I agree, Heath. I think they need to just keep running the football here. You could throw some easy passes in there where there's a high percentage of a completion. But I don't think you need to get cute here with anything. I think you just need to run the football and just chew clock at this point. It's a 2-score game.
Well, this time they're going to hand it off to Kinstner, and now late whistles come in, and this one is going to be a false start against the Panthers. Move them back 5 yards, now set up 3rd down and 9, push them all the way back to the 31-yard line, or about 30-yard line, right in between the two. But for the Panthers, just trying to take care of business here and open up the season with a victory. What has been a dogfight throughout, 15-3. Jacob, we both mentioned it. I think we thought we'd see a close game, but maybe not the way this one has gone, such low scoring. So on 3rd down and 9, man in motion. Anima is going to take the direct snap, try to find himself some space, and is going to get popped, then lost the football. No. They say Anima was down first, and it looks like they're saying no conversation is happening. Was Ethan down before he lost the football? No, he wasn't. They say Ethan Anima fumbles the football at the 25-yard line, picked up by the Vermillion Tanagers, and it's a turnover on downs, and Vermillion will begin now at the 26.
Wow. What a break there for the Tanagers. They needed that at this point. Looks like Dakota Valley was going to just run some more clock on this drive, and They needed that.
Well, what can the Tanagers do with it now? Plenty of time. 9:30 here in the fourth quarter. Trips to the far side. A quick little pass to nobody. Sean Doan just expected his wide receivers to be there. Falls incomplete. So now the 5th turnover of the football game. We have also seen 4 turnover on downs. It has certainly been a crazy game here this evening in the series of events that we have had tonight.
Absolutely, and lucky for Sean Doan, if that ball is a little higher, that could be going the other way for 6 points.
Doan takes the low snap, looking downfield. Now we'll go over the middle, well above his intended wide receiver of Zone Robinson. Falls incomplete. You know, I feel like this game, it's like that ESPN predictor tacker that goes like 50%, just goes up and down that line. I feel like it's just a heartbeat tonight, just a really fast heartbeat. Just that's how it feels like. All right, one moment you think Vermillion's going to win. They have all the momentum. The next thing, it's Dakota Valley. It feels like they're going to blow this one out. It has certainly been back and forth. And Vermillion now on 3rd down and 10. Yet to move a yard on this drive. Like to avoid a 3-and-out here. And an all-out blitz. Sean Doan tried to force it right away. Trey Peel came in. Makes his 2nd deflection of the game. Falls incomplete. And for Vermillion, they go 4-and-out. And for Dakota Valley, catch a big break.
Man, you'd like to see them move the ball a little better on that drive. They needed something, and they got the big break yet again. They had another turnover from Dakota Valley and had an opportunity to go put some points on the board. Plenty of time left, 9:19 to go now, but they had just under 10 minutes left.
A big punt from Luke Knutson sends Junior all the way back to the 26, but Junior's got plenty of space, and now using his basketball skills, able to get all the way back to the 44-yard line, but there is a penalty here over on the near sideline. Seen a lot of penalties in this game as well.
Yeah, and especially in the second half, we've seen several of them at key moments too.
Yes. This is going to be a holding against the Panthers. So they are going to have to take it from where Junior was able to bring it back to and then march off another 10 yards, which for Dakota Valley, they'll take that actually.
I was just going to say that very thing, Heath. They'll take an extra 10 yards back, as bad as that may seem. That just gives them 10 more yards to try to chew more clock.
Yep, absolutely. So Dakota Valley has now committed a penalty in every single quarter, a total of 8 penalties for them tonight, resulting in 87 yards of a difference. That is quite a bit at the high school level. 9:04, and this one's not over with yet. A handoff to Luke Kitzner. And by the way, if you're Dakota Valley, protect the football. I feel like Kitzner was holding that high and tight. He was doing a good job, but start putting 2 hands around it.
Absolutely. They need to do that. They need to make sure, especially when you're backed up after that penalty. You lost another 10 yards off the penalty off the punt, and ball security is going to be a huge plus for Dakota Valley right now. If they take care of it, they'll be in good hands.
Luke Kitzner, 12 carries for 33 yards tonight. He has certainly been held in check on what he has been able to do for that senior running back. High snap, Anima pulls it down, finds some space right through the heart of the defense, past the 45, and churning his legs all the way up to the 49. A pickup of 14 yards and a first down. So, on the opposite side, Ethan Anima, 9 carries for 38 yards for him today, and he started plenty of the day actually in negative territory. In fact, his last 4 carries have resulted in 44 yards. So he is starting to come alive late in this ball game as well. 7:55 and rolling in the fourth quarter, 15-3. And now we're going to have a penalty. That this one comes right at the ump there. And it's a false start called by Bruce Abels.
So move it back 5 yards. An interesting false start of where that was called at. Had to almost be on the center. But again, move it back 5 yards. So add it to the tally. Now 9 penalties for 92 yards against Dakota Valley here in the ball game. 7:42 and rolling. Handoff once again to Luke Kitzner as he tries to bounce it on the far hashes. Nothing really doing so. Pickup of about 3 yards. 2nd down and 12 upcoming.
Dakota Valley just content here to just huddle up, get their play called, and just work some of this clock down to almost 7 minutes left. And
it's so demeaning for Vermillion on that psyche, knowing that there's nothing you can do about it. As now Anima is back to pass. He's going to find his wide receiver just past the 50. It's a pickup of 6 yards, but you have only so many plays to make something happen. You feel like Vermillion has had plenty of those opportunities to make something happen in this ball game. And now when you sit out there and just watch this clock roll more and more under 7 minutes, you just feel so hopeless out there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like you said, there's just nothing you can do. You got to try to force a turnover at this point. You've got all 3 timeouts. You're down by 12 points, which is 2 scores, but it's one of those things where you're not out of it yet, but you got to make a play.
And now a pass that picks up a big first down on 3rd down and 9. A completion of 16 yards to Tyler for the Dakota Valley Panthers. And it seems like it's just going to escape Vermillion tonight.
Everything just kind of going Dakota Valley's way here in the second half. Vermillion has had chances. They've had opportunities. They've been able to force a couple turnovers in the second half.
I will say this much. Right now, Vermillion is getting a lot of home field advantage with Jody Zeller. She did not start the clock there, so they had it stopped for a little bit. And the official said, no, you need to keep this rolling here. Jody's doing her best. You know what? And I have an idea coming up for Jody. I was talking to her earlier. She might be helping us out for some volleyball coming up later on. Former volleyball coach here for Vermillion. She's also kind of the head leader when it comes to money for the DAC-12. So any money that goes missing, no, I'm just kidding, never goes missing. But Jody Zeller always working her hardest here and always being a volunteer and helping out here, running these clocks. Amazing what this Vermillion school staff always does and steps up and helps out at all the different sporting events. Jake, I'm going to put you on the spot here in just a moment as it's a design keeper for Ethan Anima. He has nowhere to go. It's going to be a loss of 2 on 2nd down and 5. And now they make a loss of 4. So 3rd down and 9 upcoming. Scores when it comes from Class 11A. Maybe a couple surprising ones, or maybe at least how big they have gotten. I'm looking kind of more specifically at that Beersford-Milbank game. 35-6 Beersford leads. And of course, Del Rapids. I said Madison. I didn't like Madison at number 1. I thought a new head coach. I thought they might struggle a little bit. And right now it seems like Del Rapids leading at 33-14 has certainly shown that they are going to be a great team. A pass completed, 2 missed tackles, another first down for the Panthers.
You take a look at like Beersford and Milbank's first game you mentioned there. Beersford, a team that was in 11B last year and made it all the way to the semifinals, pulled off a couple of upsets in the playoffs to get to the semifinals, and then almost pulled off a 3rd upset over Bridgewater Emery-Easton in the semifinals, but the Seahawks were able to prevail in that one. Beersford bringing back their quarterback, Tate Van Otterloo, a very good quarterback there. Peyton Frederick at running back. So they bring back quite a few skill players on that Beersford team. They could be a sneaky good team in 11B this year, or 11A this year, making the jump from 11B to 11A. And then Del Rapids, it looks like we have a penalty here.
Yeah, there's just been And you never know. I mean, it's preseason polls. You never know what to expect. And now I feel like a lot of things are going to be shuffled up. You're going to look more at this. And Dakota Valley came in at number 5. Vermillion was receiving votes. I don't know if Dakota Valley, don't know if I've seen enough for them to be number 5 yet. I feel like I want more.
Exactly. I agree there. And 11A is always such a toss-up, it seems, every year. There have been teams in the past that went on big runs. And as you see, looks like Anima here trying to get outside, but gets tackled for a loss, or maybe no gain. But, like you said, I think really, I think, we're seeing some surprises. And actually, that Del Rapids score just went final. So number 4, Del Rapids, upsetting number 1 and defending champion Madison, 33-14. Heath, that score, that result doesn't necessarily surprise me. Sure. Madison lost a lot of talent off last year's team.
Yes.
Again, like you said, new coach. I thought there was a lot of new pieces that were going to have to be there for Madison. Del Rapids returned some players. They did lose some seniors as well. 11A is going to be one of those years where I think it's just like it is kind of every year, where it's just going to be a toss-up.
Yeah, it certainly is a Wild West scenario when it comes to the Classy 11A. It's always one of my favorites to pay attention to watch to, and that's not just because Vermillion comes out of it, but then you have that situation like a Vermillion last year. You go, who is this team? What are they putting together? Who's this new coach? And it just makes it even more exciting.
And Millbank. Millbank, the team that came in here and beat Vermillion in the semis, they upset Canton in the quarterfinals last year, and then they come down here and upset Vermillion. Nobody thought Millbank was going to make that run, and they did.
Yep. And they were in there the last day basically playing for a playoff spot. They had to have scenarios that went right for them and able to do so. 3rd down and 10, 3:40 remaining in this one. Trying to hand off something up the middle to Trey Peel. Nothing doing so. So in the end, it looks like Dakota Valley as a loss of 5 upcoming here, but looks like Dakota Valley is not going to have their chance at scoring. But they did what they needed to do, and that was just kill this clock as much as they possibly could. 3:17 and just rolling. So a victory here for the Panthers on this possession. They've wasted, in fact, over 5 minutes of this game clock just here on this possession. So big for what they're able to do. Now, of course, they're going to go for it on 4th down and 15. Ethan Anima back to pass. He's got pressure, steps up in the pocket, and now has nowhere to go. He's going to get wrestled down as he kind of ran into his own defender there at the 30-yard line, a loss of about 4 yards. That only matters in my stat book, and it's a turnover on downs. Vermillion, 2:53. Sean Doan, young man as a sophomore, what do you have for an arm now?
Exactly. You have all 3 timeouts. Vermillion's got all their timeouts remaining. You do need 2 scores, though, so you got to get 2 touchdowns in a matter of just less than 3 minutes. And, that seems like a tall task. It can be done, though. We've seen it happen with teams through the years, no matter what the level of play. And you don't even need extra points. You just need touchdowns to tie. You don't even need, even if you miss the extra points, both of them, it's a tie ball game and you can go to overtime.
It does? Or Dakota Valley use it? I believe Dakota Valley just burned one of their timeouts here, so they'll have 2 remaining. Vermillion, as you mentioned, still has all 3 of their timeouts. I haven't really taken too much of a look around double AT area all over Huron. Brookings beat Watertown. I can't really say a lot of big scores. Maybe I don't know what to think of Mitchell either when I look at Yankton beating Mitchell 45-6. It's also really cool to have here on Live Ticket TV, those scrolling on the bottom that you can constantly see those scores. But I don't want to say Yankton Mitchell was a big surprise to me either. Even looking down into 9-man, I don't know if one really jumps out to me. I feel like a lot of other places business was taken care of tonight.
Absolutely. One that really jumped out to me was Hamlin, 52-12 over Del Rapids St. Mary. I thought that was
yes, absolutely.
That was, it doesn't surprise me that Hamlin won. The game was at Hamlin, and Hamlin's another good football team this year in 9AA. But man, 52-12 over the defending 9B champs. I thought that was overwhelming there. Parkston beating Platt.
See, now Ryan Deal with 605 Sports had a little pullout earlier, and I said I thought Parkston was going to win that.
Parkston, I think, they lost some pieces last year, and they wanted a little revenge from Platt beating them in the semis, I'm sure. And Platt lost a lot of pieces off that championship team from last year.
Well, after the timeout, we're finally ready to go. 2:53 here remaining in the ball game. Deuces wild on either side. Sean Doan back to pass. Doan escapes the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, has his wide receiver, and this is where we see him as a sophomore. He scrambled around, got the defenders to cheat up to come play him, had his wide receiver open, Trillian Sorrell, and just overthrew him. That was the play they needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Had him open down the sideline, had a big gain there, and the young sophomore quarterback just overthrowing the receiver. And, that happens.
So, trying to bounce back this time. It's a sweep play that goes to Trillian Sorrell. Not a whole lot of room doing for him. In fact, he loses 2 yards. That was just his second carry of the football game. And now bringing up 3rd down and 12. And for Vermillion, they need to move quickly here. 2:23 and rolling here in the ball game.
Dakota Valley's defense has just played very well tonight. They have just executed a very good defensive game plan.
Twins to either side, back to pass. Sean Doan on the quick little curl route, maybe a little bit of contact before the ball was there. Vermillion fans can't believe it that they don't get the call to go their way. And now on 4th down and 12 are going to have to keep their offense out there, but they need a big play as a few of the fans start to gather their stuff and head for the doors. For Vermillion, a great performance tonight, just not necessarily what they wanted. Now they bring out Luke Knutson and the punt team to punt this one away. And with 2:07, you have to use all of your timeouts and not let the Panthers get a 1st down. Luke gets a good boot into this one, takes a bounce at the 40, and then starts rolling back that way, and it will go all the way up to the 40 and finally is down. Well, for Dakota Valley, the task is simple. Pick up a 1st down here on this drive. Head down Interstate I-29 with the victory.
It seems simple. Maybe it's not so simple, but certainly, yes, that's what they need to do, because you need to make Vermillion burn all 3 of these timeouts. And, we've seen them be able to move the football. And if you're Dakota Valley, you still got to be somewhat aggressive here. You can't just lay on the football and let them burn all 3 timeouts, punting away. Make them burn the timeouts, but get a 1st down, and then you don't even have to worry about going back on defense again.
Well, before we even get our first play in, Vermillion burns a timeout already. So, we'll just see kind of the decision, what goes here.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure what Coach O'Boyle has planned here with taking that timeout. That's interesting call there.
Well, for Vermillion fans, don't forget Live Ticket TV has you covered with plenty of athletics coming up, as we will have more for you. Volleyball coming up this next week. We'll have all the action again right here on Live Ticket TV, an expansion of Vermillion Athletics. And if you haven't checked it out, Live Ticket TV also is your home for every single school across the state of South Dakota. Live Ticket TV now covering over 60 schools when it comes to athletics and continuing to expand. We're glad to have Vermillion a part of our partnership schools. And now Ethan Anima, quarterback keeper, just following his blockers, picks up about a good 3-4 yards. And also want to give a huge shout out with Live Ticket TV and the partnerships that they are making, as Vermillion doesn't call timeout here. But it also partnerships up with the University of South Dakota, and to get Jacob, to get Cole, both of you guys in here, to be living right here just outside the dome. It's very convenient. It's great to have you guys along. I appreciate all your help so far.
Yeah, this has been fun. Heath, having you along for the ride, and hope to do more in the future.
Yeah, I say this certainly is not the end of us at all. We have plenty more coming up throughout the season. We're just getting started, as you could say, as now it's going to be a handoff, this time to Luke Kintzner, he's able to pick up a first down, get it past the 49-yard line, a pickup of 9 yards. And again, Vermillion not calling a timeout. 1:02 and just rolling away. So for Vermillion, the football season will start 0-1. For the Panthers, 1-0, but a lot to continue to learn and continue to move forward. And now, officially, victory formation is out for the Panthers. Take the kneel. Right under 40 seconds. The Panthers don't need to take another snap. Dakota Valley moves to 1-0 on the season, whereas the Vermillion Tanagers drop to 0-1. Well, we're not finished here on Live Ticket TV. We have plenty more coming up here on the postgame show, including our final analysis. We'll take a look back at our final game stats and also join with head coach Tom O'Boyle to talk about the next step for the Vermillion Tanagers that they have to take to try to get this ship corrected and find a win as they move up to Lenox coming up next Friday. That's all on the way in 2 minutes here on Live Ticket TV as your final score inside the Dakota Dome. Dakota Valley Panthers 15, the Vermillion Tanagers 3.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Well, not quite the way Vermillion had it scripted up to open up their season, as back here on the postgame show, the Vermillion Tanagers fall 15-3. After 7 consecutive games, they'll find themselves back on the road coming up next Friday against the Lenox Orioles. That, of course, 7-game home streak dates back to last year and that run in the playoffs. For the Dakota Valley Panthers, after finishing just 1-8 a year ago, they find their first victory of the season. Again, plenty to get into here on our post-game show, and bringing back in Jacob. I know head coach Tom O'Boyle is going to say it, that you can look at this moment, you can look at that moment, that could have gone a better way, better scenario tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers.
You know, I think they just missed a lot of opportunities. I think there was just a lot of things that, you know, they had chances, and every time it looked like Vermillion had a chance, it's kind of like what I talked about earlier. They'd take 1 or 2 steps forward, but then they'd go a step back. And they just, you know, I think you correct those mistakes. You make that block, or you catch that ball, or, you know, you don't make that penalty, and I think things go a little different for Vermillion.
You're certainly right there, as again, Vermillion falls 15-3 against Dakota Valley. And even the penalties that they really had, they didn't even commit a penalty that went against them in that second half. So that was something that got corrected here in the second half, but then it was just the small mistakes. Do you look at maybe you can blame some of those mistakes on just the inexperience this squad had?
Oh, absolutely. I think, a lot of new starters, a lot of new faces. Sean Doan having to step in at quarterback, and he played well tonight at times. There were times, that he played really well and made some good throws, ran the ball effectively. He had some good runs at times tonight as well. So just, a lot of inexperience, a lot of guys with their first start. You do have those seniors and juniors around them that have a lot of experience, such as a Carter Skogsberg, a Ross Baylor. Zone Robinson's had some playing time in the past. Jeremy Crow is a senior running back who's got experience. So there are guys that have experience around them, but it's just to fit those new pieces in, especially the quarterback position. Obviously, that's the main guy, on offense. And defensively, I thought Vermillion played very well. They just gave up a couple of big plays, but really the defense played very well. I was very impressed with the way both these defenses played. Dakota Valley just was able to make more offensive plays when they needed them. And, they had the big touchdown pass in the first quarter, or the first half, the first play of the second quarter it was. And then they just had that one drive in the second half where Jackson Boonstra just kind of went off, kind of like the Energizer Bunny. He just took off there for a few plays in a row, and Vermillion just couldn't stop him on that one drive where he had, 4 carries for 43 yards.
Yep.
But that was all it took, and that was all it took for Dakota Valley to kind of pull away and get a comfortable lead. And their defense just was able to kind of just hold everything down, hold the fort down for them.
Well, looking back at this game and our final numbers for tonight, let's go through it all for the Vermillion Tanagers. Sean Doan in the passing game goes 9 of 16 for 82 yards. Did have an interception in there as well. He also had 17 carries for 23 yards. The leading rusher tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers was Jeremy Crow, just 9 carries for 36 yards for him tonight. On the opposite side for the Dakota Valley Panthers, Ethan Anima goes 9 of 14, had a touchdown, 2 interceptions, a total of 121 yards for him tonight in the passing game. Luke Kitzner walked away with 13 carries for 36 yards. Also, Ethan Anima had 12 carries for 31 yards, but as you mentioned, Jacob Jackson Boonstra was actually the leading rusher for just 4 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. All 43 of his yards came in that third quarter, where, as you mentioned, he just kind of took over, and it's in the end, Dakota Valley gets the win, 15-3. We're going to join with head coach Tom O'Boyle, and we'll also get you set for scores from around the state of South Dakota and look ahead to next Friday night. That's all on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campers.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, back inside the Dakota Dome as our final score here is 15-3, and it's the Dakota Valley Panthers that get the victory over the Vermillion Tanagers. And while we're talking about the scores, and coming up here in just a moment, it's head coach Tom O'Boyle will join his thoughts here. But again, looking at complete scores all across, we'll begin in Class 11A right now. Lennox gets the win over Chamberlain 40-8. Del Rapids beat Madison 33-14. Dakota Valley beat, again, Vermillion 15-3. And other Class 11A action, Belfouche beat Douglas 14-8. Canton beat Sioux Falls Christian 27-20. Beersford beat Millbank 41-6. And again, West Central and Custer coming up tomorrow. And also Lakota Tech against Trip Delmar Armor AC/DC also coming up tomorrow. In Class 11 AA, it's T-Area that beats Huron 45-6. It was Brookings over Watertown 26-3. Right now at halftime, it's St. Thomas More on top of Spearfish 21-0, or at least last time score reported there. Also in other action that went final, Yankton beat Mitchell tonight 45-6. Bouncing up to AAA. A lot of action coming up tomorrow. The only game going on tonight. It's number 5 Sioux Falls Lincoln that's receiving votes Sioux Falls Roosevelt 19-13. Bouncing down to now Class 11B, it's Clark Willow Lake that's on top of Webster area 28-7 with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth there. Otherwise, scores final. Number 4 Sioux Valley beats Sisseton 35-12. Aberdeen Roncalli over Dual 14-7. Tri-Valley beat Parker 21-0. Bridgewater Emory Ethan on top of Flandreau 30-6. Final, Elk Point Jefferson all over Baltic 55-0. Also, it was Winter getting the victory over Wagner 52-12. And in other action, Mobridge got the win over Dakota Hills 51-0. Redfield beat Grote in area 14-12. All those scores final over in Class 11B. Jacob, what do you have for us on the 9-man side of things?
All right, we'll start in 9AA and work our way down to the smallest class, 9B. In 9AA, Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy, they defeat Iroquois Lake Preston 44-8. Those two teams both in new co-ops this year. Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy, they start the year 2-0. A big one up in Canastota tonight. This was number 1 Canastota. Canastota number 1 in 9A, hosting number 1 in 9AA, Howard. Howard scores in the final seconds to win that one, 21-20. So Howard with the win on the road over Canastota in a battle of number 1s. White River, they defeat Bennett County 22-20. Viborg Hurley, they shut out Garrettson 52-0. Elkton Lake Benton, they defeat Esteline Hendricks 26-7. Bonham, they are receiving votes in 9AA. They defeat Kimball White Lake 46-0. Hanson, ranked 5th in Class 9AA. They defeat Irene Wakanda 48-0. DeSmit, number 5 in Class 9B. They defeat Stanley County, who's in 9AA, 36-7. Florence Henry beats Britton Hecla 12-6. Ipswich beats Langford area 58-8. And how about this one? Number 4 Hamlin, number 4 in 9AA. They hosted number 1 Del Rapids St. Mary tonight. Del Rapids St. Mary, number 1 in Class 9B and the defending 9B champs, but Hamlin all over Del Rapids St. Mary tonight, 52-12. And another defending champion, Platte Geddes, they were ranked 3rd in Class 9AA. They're the 2-time defending 9AA champs. They lose tonight as well at Parkston. Parkston with the 22-14 win there. Warner, they defeat Leola Frederick area 26-12. And at last check, Great Plains Lutheran is ahead of Waverly South Shore 31-22 in the fourth quarter. North Central beating Northwestern 18-12 with 2 minutes left in the fourth. Lemon McIntosh, they are up on Dupree 28-6 in the third quarter. And number 2 Wall number 2 in 9AA, they are leading Phillip 35-8 in the third quarter. We move to 9A. A lot of these scores repeated, a lot of 9A, 9B, 9AA teams all playing each other tonight. But we do have a couple others here. Dubrook area, they beat Coleman Egan 52-20. Avon, number 3 in 9B, they defeat 9A Burke 54-6. Alcester Hudson, they beat Corsica Stickney 12-6. And at last check here, number 2, Class 9A number 2 Gregory beating Class 9A number 4 Woolsey Wessington 52-34. That with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter there at last check. This one an upset as well. Kadoka area, they are receiving votes in 9B, but they upset Class 9A number 3 Harding County Bison 40-22. How about this score, Heath? 58-46 right now in the fourth quarter. Chester area winning on the road, just up the road here from Vermillion at Centerville. How about that one?
Wow.
58-46, and there's still 7 minutes left in the game.
And, of course, they also joined us with live ticket TV as well, Centerville. So, I mean, just more schools that come on. But that's a great game happening in 9-man football there.
Great game if you like offense.
That's right. And we certainly didn't see a whole lot of that here in the Dome tonight.
No, we did not. Lyman, they defeat New Underwood 40-0. Last check, number 2 Harriet Selby area in 9B ranked second. They are leading Timber Lake 22-0. Faith beating Newell 46-0 in the second half at last check there. An update on that Wall Phillip game. Wall up 42-8 in the third quarter now on that one. 9B, a few other scores here. Jones County, they beat Sunshine Bible Academy 41-0. Last check, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Sully Buttes beating Potter County 36-6. And a couple other scores here. Class 9B, number 4, Hitchcock Tulare. They defeat Faulkton area 50-14. Colombe, they beat Gayville-Vollen. Gayville-Vollen just to the west of Vermillion here. They go on the road to Colombe, but Colombe gets the win 26-20. And that rounds out your scores across the state.
Well, again, big thank you to Jacob giving us those 9-man scores as we continue on here on the live ticket postgame show, as it is that time to get to our conversation with head coach Tom O'Boyle, as I believe Tom Heisinger is also making his way up here, a champion in of himself of Legion Baseball. I'll get Tom what he needs. But first, Coach OB, I know going back to this game, and we were talking about up here a lot of different things that could have gone right for your team, a lot of different opportunities to capitalize on some great turnovers, get some penalties that go your way. In the end, when you look back, is there one moment that really sticks out to you that if you wish you could change that moment right there to fix what happened, what's one that really sticks out to you?
You know, Heath, I appreciate you. Certainly there are going to be more positives than what I can pull up right now, being this close to the heat of the battle. But I do believe that, we made some nice play. We had a couple of receivers that we've got to get the ball to downfield. We've got to have better time to do that, and we've got to throw better footballs down the field. And I think we, certainly I didn't have an offensive scheme tonight that thrilled anybody. So, there were no running lanes. There were, our quarterback was timid at times, and he's better than what he showed, but he's a great young man and going to get better every snap, and that's why he's our quarterback right now. Sean Dona wouldn't trade him for the world. Love the kid. He'll bounce back. It was a tough night for him, but we didn't do a whole lot around him to help him. We certainly will. I think we've got to be better at the line of scrimmage. I think we've got to be better getting plays called and not taking the delay penalties. That's on us, and just a lot of things to fix up or get better with. That I'm certainly disappointed that I'm embarrassed that the Tanager Nation had to watch a team that looked like they didn't practice.
Well, I would almost disagree with that because I felt at points that your defense did a great job. It felt like though your back was against the wall and you had that bend, don't break mentality. You were making big plays when you had to. Maybe the offense wasn't there at times, but the defense, how great was it them to see make some big plays? Yeah, you had that one touchdown, a couple big runs down here, but defense really stepped up in a huge way. How nice was that to see come through?
I'm thrilled with the defense. They gave us 3 turnovers. They gave us the ball back with opportunities to do some things. So happy with the defense, and we hung them out to dry. They had to play all night. So, they gave us the ball at midfield twice. Mm-hmm. They gave us some extra possessions, and unfortunately we didn't capitalize, and I didn't have a good scheme to get us in the end zone.
Well, you look back at this game, again, I know a lot of points that you'll look back at film, think about what can change this, what can change that. When it comes to seeing a younger squad, we saw a lot of change with a lot of seniors that moved on from last year. Did you think this was the team that you expected to be? Just now the execution needs to come through?
Oh, no, I think we're better than what we we showed tonight, I would certainly give credit to Dakota Valley. It's not like, they're not coached. I thought they did a nice job defensing us. We were able to beat corners a couple times, but for the most part, their middle linebackers and their outside linebackers came free and made tackles. And so those are things we need to clean up and watch film and see, just exactly what we're going to do. I think we need to make the game a little simpler for Sean right now. But he's a capable guy, and guys, I love him. I wouldn't trade that kid for the world. He's going to be a great quarterback, and he's just going to learn and, listen, live, and learn. And he'll be better next week as we go to Lennox.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, you talk about making this game simpler. You now have a week to do that. What does it take here with the guys kind of getting back in the ice room, getting themselves rested? You have on Monday to get ready for that game on Friday. What does it take to make this game simpler?
Well, I guess my best off-the-cuff answer is you got to watch film. I mean, you got to educate yourselves. Our kids need to see just exactly why we broke down, where we broke down, and I think that won't take all that long. I think this was, we've got a lot of kids playing both ways, but that's our choice, and so that's not an excuse. If you're going to play kids both ways, you got to have them in shape, and they got to be able to play hard every down. And I love our kids. I love our effort. I apologize to the Tanager Nation that they had to watch a bad offensive scheme.
Well, hey, Coach, I always love everything you put together, the battle.
Thanks, guys.
Might have lost this one, but the war isn't over with. We'll catch up with you again.
Absolutely. Roll damn Tanagers, brother.
Roll damn Tanagers. There he is, head coach Tom O'Boyle, always giving us some great time. Of course, he's always great enough to give us time on our pregame show as well. We appreciate everything, and, of course, you have to love the honesty that he comes with and his crew as well, making sure he puts out the best product. He expects a lot from his team, and you just love to see that. Continues to get interviews as well, as I know plenty of media was out here surrounding this football game with Dakota Valley and the Vermillion Tanagers. We're going to step aside one final time. When we come back, we wrap things up here on Live Ticket TV. That is all on the way here in just a moment.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Well, back one final time here on Live Ticket TV as the Vermillion Tanagers, they fall 15-3. Not only the home opener, but also the season opener against the Dakota Valley Panthers. And joined back one last time here with Jacob as well. Big shout out as well to our producer, Cole Larsh, who helped us so much. And tonight's broadcast, as I mentioned, Cole, we're definitely going to get you on broadcast coming up throughout the season. We'll talk about that more here in just a moment. All right, we heard Coach O'Boyle say it, make things simpler. But, I mean, that's just, what does that even mean? Jacob, what does that mean now that we get ready for next Friday and looking ahead against Lennox?
Well, I think that means, you got to simplify the offense a little bit. Maybe not try to do so much. Maybe just try to put some packages together offensively where you're not, you're simplifying into a couple of different formations and things like that. So just simplifying the playbook, I think, for him, just to make sure he's comfortable getting the basic plays down. And then as the season goes on, I think you can start throwing in some other wrinkles there with that. And this is a complex offense that they run. And it's a spread formation, and there's a lot of moving pieces to it, a lot of receivers, a lot of routes. Obviously, you're running play action. You're running just straight drop back passing. You're running zone read. We saw a little of that RPO tonight as well. So the zone read. So, there's just a lot of moving parts, and I think if you just simplify that in the playbook and say, hey, get these plays down, and we'll just keep consistently adding to it as the season goes on, I think that'll help him out a lot. But I think just the reps, too.
Yeah, exactly. On the opposite side for the defense, just keep doing what you're doing. I thought we saw a lot of great things from the defense. We talked about what they were able to do for the turnovers. Even Coach O'Boyle mentioned that as well. Some great performances that we saw tonight from the defense, but the offense just needs to get a few things corrected. If they can do that, this will be certainly a team turned around quickly within a week's time. Well, Jacob, should we do it again next Friday?
Let's do it.
All right. Cole, you ready to do it next Friday as well? He says yes. We are ready to do it next Friday. But that is not the end for us, as we have plenty more to get you set for when it comes to athletics. Again, Live Ticket is now your home for Vermillion athletics, including the volleyball season at home gets underway on Tuesday against Lennox. We'll have all the coverage right here on Live Ticket TV. And again, don't forget to download the app and also check out 605 Sports, where you can find news stories when it comes to Vermillion as well, and all these surrounding schools, the smaller schools as well. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you be following us out there on social media. Download all the apps. It is your new home for sports here in the state of South Dakota. That's Live Ticket TV and 605 Sports. For Jacob, Cole, I'm Heath Nimke. Until Tuesday evening, your final score once again inside the Dakota Dome: Dakota Valley Panthers 15, the Vermillion Tanagers 3. Until Tuesday night, have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.